Hey, and welcome to another special episode of King Leo D&D, another one-shot brought by Dragon's Nest Delivery. This is a 3 to 5 hour one-shot that comes alongside every single month with the Dragon's Nest delivery boxes, along with dice, minis, awesome candy, stuff that you get to see us enjoy once or twice a month through our regular campaign. And we've got some new faces here, which I'm super excited for. For anyone who's been enjoying our content, these are the people who kind of got me started and been really passionate about D&D. These are the people I got to first play with, and so it's so fun and so special to get to run a one-shot with them and have some friends here with us today. So I'm going to quickly just throw it and pass it over to them, and to just give Tana some space in her worried little heart. If she says anything that you're bothered by or personally offended by, email me at kingleodnd@gmail.com and I'll just go ahead and shoot that right back at her and take care of her for you. But for that matter, I will pass this over to y'all. You can give us your name, a little bit of a description of who your character is and what you'll be doing for today for this party.
I'll start. My real name is Tana, as you have found out. I was very excited to play tonight and nervous, but that's okay. My character is named Jillian Turnwillow. She is a 3-foot tall halfling. She's pale-skinned with golden hair. She has one black stripe on the right side of her hair, and it's intricately braided and back away from her face. She has heterochromia. Her right eye is a bright royal blue, and her left eye is brown. And around her blue eye is a barely discernible white tattoo of the sun. She's wearing a mixture of leathers and armor, and she has a shield with the symbol of the sun on it, and she carries a really big mace.
Yeah, so my name's Nate. I'll be playing a character named Jackson Turnwillow, the identical twin of Jillian Turnwillow. Also a halfling. I'm 3 foot 1 inch tall, but I was also born a minute after Jillian, and so that little bit there. Jet black hair, kind of done up in a pompadour style, very well groomed. Also has heterochromia, but my left eye is that deep royal blue with the kind of the brown on the other side. The biggest kind of noticeable feature about Jackson is that his left arm, from the tips of his fingers to about his mid elbow, is completely pitch black with these kind of deep veins, kind of greenish glowing veins kind of running through that. He's wearing robes with a pauldron on his left arm in the shape of a kind of open demon maw. He is so edgy compared to Jillian. So
I'm sure Jillian will provide a lot of edge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forgive the brodiness of this. I just imagine you two twins in utero just like popping an eye trade at some point.
Exactly. Right. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, my name is Zach. I'll be playing Bjorn Rockpaws, and I'm gonna attempt to have a nice, in the style of Benoit Blanc from Knives Out. I'm gonna try to have an accent. We'll see what happens. Bjorn is about 4 feet tall. He is a dwarf with a great big head of reddish auburn hair. It's like brown red hair. Big beard. It's kind of wild. He's got a couple braids kind of scattered throughout it, but also maybe some like twigs and stuff. He has like leathers on, but a lot of his skin is actually showing, and you see these intricate kind of like knotted, almost like Celtic tattoos, just in blue ink, kind of inked all over his body. He carries just like a walking staff, and is just kind of out there. That's probably, I think, like greenish yellow eyes, and he's incredibly like just hairy, just kind of hairy across the board. Little like a bear, if you will, kind of like a bear. That's Bjorn.
Howdy all. My name is Aaron, and I will be piloting Corel Dorney tonight. Corel is a Leonin druid shepherd of the circle. He comes from a family, shepherd of the circle, circle of the shepherd. He comes from a family of what are more or less nomadic vets who take care of animals whenever they're sick or injured. They very much value the circle of life, hence the Leonin. And they're all about making sure that anything that is hurt or sick in any sort of way, they're there to take care of it until it can get back to health and resume its place within life's natural order. Corel is all about just making sure that nature is in its proper circle and cycle. He'll be walking around in a lot of tanned leathers and furs, very similar to what you see someone who maybe grew up on the plains might end up wearing.
I imagine there's this Circle of the Shepherd, which is a very natural, like, animal herding type group of druids, but then their nemesis is this Shepherd of the Circle, where it's very geometry and math focused druids that they just don't get along.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Why would they? Okay, so for this is the one-shot adventure from Dragon's Nest Delivery called The Rose's Kiss. This is their October one-shot. A little bit of spooky, a little bit of ghost. We're going to have some fun with this here. So this group, you all have been traveling together for a little bit because you were level 3 within your classes. Fun fact, the last one-shot we did was a level 12 one-shot, which is a huge jump. So into this adventure, y'all are meandering through the woods, just navigating through, trying to find some city on your way through, whether you have another town to go to or what, but you're going to spend a couple of nights within the town of Darkmoor, Darkmoor. And so your journey has led you to the foreboding and shadow-draped town of Darkmoor, a place where darkness reigns supreme and a pervasive sense of melancholy hangs heavy in the air. The very atmosphere here is tinged with a gloomy and oppressive mood that seems to seep from the very cobblestones beneath your feet. As you venture deeper into the town's labyrinthine streets, the despondent visages of its inhabitants come into view. The locals, their countenances etched with sorrow and despair. They move through their daily routines with a weary and languid gait. The weight of an unseen burden seems to bear down upon them, leaving no soul untouched by the pervasive melancholy that shrouds Darkmoor. The town's architecture adds to this ominous aura with the towering Gothic spires that reach for the heavens only to disappear into the perpetual shroud of twilight that lingers above. So y'all have been traveling for a good portion of this day, now entering the evening and walking into this cobblestone street, Gothic-laced, sad, decrepit town. And so we will kick you all off there. I've shared this map that you can look at where you see here are all these buildings around. And for the sake of where you all are at within that city now, you're in the kind of city center, and you can see this this family in front of you, this woman with a couple of daughters. Surprisingly to you, all of the contents of her house are brought out into the front yard. You can see a bed, you can see a chair, you can see these different paintings and pictures, and she seems to just be kind of beckoning anyone who were to walk by. Please, please come, buy anything, it helps.
Why is the contents of your house out amongst the street here? I am somewhat confused as to why you're offering us all these goods.
What? I simply ask, please, buy this bed if you are to stay here. Buy this oil lamp, and she lifts up this lamp and holds it in front of you. It works great. It has served us well. From her back, she then pulls up just kind of a sketched, handwritten map of the local area beyond the city as well. We plan to leave in the morning, and we just want money for the travels. If you could just help us in any way, please.
Goodness.
I find myself short on any sort of cash. and he's just gonna pat his like sides. Like he literally does not have anything. Like there's like a bag, like a satchel, and it just does not clink. It just kind of mashes flat.
Who picked this absolute bummer of a town to stay in?
I would like to give them some gold. A handful to 10.
I'll try and like reach out and stop her. Like, oh, our thoughts and prayers are with you.
Here, take this.
Come along, sister.
Take this.
And she pulls out the oil lamp and hands it forward to you.
That will be useful to you on your journey. Just keep this gold to help you and your family. I'm sorry to hear of you leaving, but perhaps you're off to a better future.
Well, maybe what else you got? What?
She does not take the gold from you. And as she kind of pulls the lamp back, she said, well, if the lamp will not help you, I have some leather, and then this mirror, and she pulls off from this, like kind of, she has a blanket laid out, and she picks up this slightly cracked mirror, but it seems pretty ornate, like it's made out of a mix of copper and silver, and it's got a couple pearls kind of put into it, and she holds it up, and you can see both of your twins' reflections in it as she holds it up towards you. I would let you take this mirror just for 2 gold. 2 gold, you can have this mirror, and we'll be able to use that on our way tomorrow.
You really love doing your hair. We'll take the mirror and just how about 10 gold? That's here. Just take this. I have plenty.
Friend, 2 gold is a fair price. I'm not looking for any handouts. I would just like to lift the burden and have some money on the road.
She's a proud woman. Don't insult her dignity. 1 gold is what you said?
2 gold for this beautiful mirror. Here, take it. You've got some hair.
Great, thank you. And then she puts the mirror and hands it over to him and takes the 2 gold. She walks over to her 2 daughters and then gives them each one of the pieces.
And do they look like they've eaten, like they're like malnourished, or do they look like they at least do they need food? Does it look like they might need food?
Sure. No, they seem well fed. You see a bit of a desperation in them to be well set up to leave in the morning.
Okay.
If I may inquire, why are you leaving from this? He's gonna like side eye around his delightful environment.
Well, and as she kind of leans back, daughters, if you would just go ahead, run back into the house, and then you can see the two girls who kind of do walk away and out of earshot when she says, their father, my husband, he did die 2 weeks ago, and we have nothing left of security here in Darkmoor, and we hope to move on to another town. If we head out tomorrow, we do believe within a day or 2 we should make it into one of the larger cities that we've been hearing about. But with nothing left here, we've not felt safe, and so I want to make sure my daughters have some place that they can wake up and have some walls around them that work and some security about them where we don't have to worry about who is within and what is without. I want to provide a good place for them.
You have provided quite a bit of. First of all, my condolences for your recent loss. I feel for your family. However, what do you mean the safety of your walls not work? Who is coming into your house? Why do your walls not work? I am confused here.
How'd he die? I think that's the main kind of thrust. How did your husband die?
Jackson, I do not believe that is the thrust of the conversation. And if you could, Julian, if you could, there's a lovely mirror over there.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry. He's just obsessed with all things weird. That's all. Not that it's weird. That, okay. Let's look in your mirror.
I'll hold it up like to both of us.
Like a selfie pose.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, some type of creature, some monster came in over the night. We heard some townspeople yelling out. We heard the guards rise up in a defense, and bless his heart, my husband Mark did run to the porch to make sure that our house would be safe. And by the time he made it downstairs, we didn't hear anything else anymore. And then, well, I made sure the girls stayed in bed, but when I made it down, I could see from the window the quick move of a shadow, and there went Mark.
Have you heard of any other stories like this happening in Darkmoor?
I know that there's an investigation to find some girls that have also gone missing in this city of Darkmoor. Our mayor has been silent ever since the attack. We have not heard from him at all. This is why we must leave.
Just to clarify, your husband is gone, like vanished like the girls, or is he actually? Have you performed a funeral for your husband and his body was? I just wanted to clarify. I am a little confused at the tenor of the story here.
No body has been recovered. I did take the girls out to the graveyard, and we did have a small service together, but I have not heard of any recovery of his remains.
We should check that out.
We should. This might be very weird, us asking these very personal questions to you, and we don't even know your name. But we kind of do this
For money.
We look
For money.
This is our job. We go around and help people, I guess.
In which we get paid.
I understand.
But so maybe, we can figure out what's going on for you if you want to hang around for another day or two. If you're set on going to the city, but we should look into it.
We should maybe again in the morning, but my name is Sybil, and if you are to if you somehow find out that Darkmoor would be a safer place before I leave in the morning, well, I could be persuaded.
Understand.
I would encourage you to maybe reconsider a journey outside of the walls, wherein it sounds like the creatures came from without to within. I don't know, traveling you and your young girls all by your lonesomes. It seems like a dangerous proposition indeed.
I have wrestled around with that quite a bit over the last 2 weeks, but if people keep going missing and people keep dying here, I believe I will brave the chances out on the journey to the city.
It's commendable bravery.
Maybe we should see, since this has been happening with other families, maybe the mayor knows a little bit. If they haven't found anything, maybe they've got the start of the lead. We can kind of figure out, and besides, the mayor is more likely to give us more gold than I would say a family would.
Oh, I have nothing to offer except a bed. And she points over towards like the frame of a bed and then a couple of chairs.
Sybil, whereabouts will we find the mayor or the captain of the local guard or someone potentially more knowledgeable of how the search goes on?
And as she kind of gestures around, immediately by the entrance of the city, she says, "There's a blacksmith over there. You can meet." Give me 1 second. Let me get a different document pulled up to you. Okay. There's a blacksmith over there at the Iron Bull. And Bera, I can take care of you. Captain Rolf from the Guardians Outpost can be found just nearby as well. You were sure, certainly, to find him at least within their barracks, but I'm sure none of the other guards, most of them have been dispatched out into the wilderness to keep the beast out. There is a tavern here, the Bloody Rose Tavern, as well as there's a chapel run by Father Orthos, and the mayor's house is all the way up north. Those are a couple places at your disposal if you were looking to talk more about the plagues that have hit our city.
Well, friends,
Real quick, what was the blacksmith's name again?
Canberra?
where would we like to begin?
I'd say let's hit the closest place first.
Well, shall we go to the tavern and secure our rooms for the evening and then fan out from there?
Sybil, I wish you and your family the very best. And I hope that we can find answers for you. We'll do our best.
Well, warm wishes have not done much for us over the last couple of weeks, but I'm sure you will accomplish much in your time here.
Shall we?
To the tavern.
Where are we heading? The tavern first?
Tavern first, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Just continually looking over her shoulder at the growing smaller group family of Sybil, just feeling like, why wouldn't she take the gold? Like,
Yeah.
just hates to leave her in
I-
such a bad situation.
I don't know. Who can say with the small folk why? I mean, probably shouldn't.
I'd like to mess up his hair.
Oh, I'll look in the mirror. To redo it. Can I? Do I notice anything about the mirror? Is like, because clearly, like, she had this home, but like her stuff didn't seem overly extravagant, except for this mirror.
Sure. Yeah.
Is there any kind of thing that I can glean from it?
Sure. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Can I provide guidance for that?
I will take guidance for that. First roll. I'm hoping it's either a nat 1 or a nat 20. It's feast or famine tonight.
Is it?
Oh, man.
Good signs. Good signs.
Yes.
All right.
Things are coming up, Millhouse.
You flip it over to the back of it, and you see embossed on the back in the silver and copper mixture that there is this depiction of a man on horseback riding through a meadow with a couple of hunting dogs on his sides. And then you flip it over again to then look towards the front, and you can't help but notice this is a very odd, peculiar thing. It really bothers you. Deep down into your soul, as you're staring into this mirror, a tuft of your hair has been disheveled by your sister,
God.
and it is completely out of place.
I'm trying to tuck it in and like get it in, and just like looking at the back of tacky, and then just
As soon as
And
you
the old-
like fix your hair, I feel like you're lagging behind, and I think Bjorn would just bear swat you in the back of the head and like mess up everything all over again.
why? Why?
Let's get a move on.
In a building that is obviously a lot wider and livelier than any of the residences within the city, you can recognize ahead of you what is called the Bloody Rose Tavern. It's elegant, and it sits on the eastern outskirt of the town. And then as you open the door and step forward, the creaking of the tavern's heavy wooden door announces your arrival into the dimly lit and somber tavern. Within this establishment seems to exist a peculiar state of a paradox, a place built for revelry and camaraderie, yet is overshadowed by an atmosphere akin to that of a mourning procession. As you step into this tavern's interior, the flickering candlelight casts long, wavering shadows that dance along the tarnished, dark wood surfaces. A motley assembly of patrons occupies the worn wooden tables, their tankards of ale and goblets of wine half empty, as if forgotten in the midst of their melancholic musings. You can hear voices within this tavern are hushed, their conversations laden with an air of resignation and sorrow. Laughter is present, and it carries the weight of something lost, leaving the mirth tinged with a deep sense of longing. There's an innkeeper off to your left, just behind the bar, pouring from a bottle into some wooden cups. He where are we at? Sorry, I'm jumping between a couple of documents. Yeah, okay. He is a human male with long blonde hair, and he has a little bit of a smirk or a smile to him as he's leaning over the bar, pouring from a bottle into a couple of glasses of wine for a couple, two patrons together who take it and kind of clink their glasses together with a kind of a half smile, but then walk across and head over to a table on their own. What would you all like to do at the Bloody Rose Tavern?
Any interesting characters of note? Like, do we see somebody skulking in the corner, or do we see someone kind of like openly mourning? Someone that like really above all of the kind of general din is really kind of standing out.
Sure, go ahead and roll a perception check. Or an insight check.
Is there a smell of food on the air? Like, is there any cooking sense or?
Yeah, no, you can smell easily as you walk in. It's kind of the first thing you notice as your eyesight trains on, and it goes into a couple of different depths as you take it in, but almost visibly to you is this like line that wafts into your nose, and you just kind of, in a couple deep sniffs, looks over to your right, and you can see the hearth with a giant black cauldron over it. And then you can watch as this bubbling, thick broth from within the cauldron is moving some of the contents above, and this massive hunk of meat just kind of hits to the top and then rolls under.
I think everybody else can see a little bit of saliva just kind of trickle, maybe like into the beard a little bit. And Bjorn is just marching directly to the bar, to the innkeep. Eyes focused. He's gonna ask for some food and some sustenance, I think, in this moment.
I see him looking around, so I immediately do the same thing. So I also rolled.
Okay.
12 for me.
I got a natural 20.
Nice. The twins.
For 24.
One from one, 20 from the other. It's great. Sweet. Yeah. So as you both look over, kind of shoulder to shoulder, head to head, even though one's 1 inch taller than the other, you kind of survey over. What you see is the couple that walked over within the next like 10 to 20 seconds as you're just kind of watching. You can see that they're married and they're just coming out probably for like a date night together. And even in their conversation and their expression to one another, there's a little bit of like, let's make the best with what we have. And so they're sitting with a couple glasses of wine and 2 bowls of the stew, and making some light conversation. Across the room as a whole, you can see that there is a table with 2 worn and tired guards that to their side, you can see their city stationed swords, and some of their lighter armor is kind of laid off to the side. And they've got some open scars and stuff, scars and a little bit of open wounds around their like neck or arms. And then outside of that, you can see a couple more like townspeople together in a couple different sections. One of them seems to be doing some form of like wake type, low energy wake, and having some toasts and talking about a couple of people who they believe to have passed away.
Okay. I think are we all gonna follow Bjorn to the innkeeper?
Yeah. Are you pointing this stuff out?
Yeah, as we
Okay.
would walk, I think I would point out, especially the guards, saying that they look seasoned. We should talk to them. And if I notice their wounds, like mentioning, like I could probably heal them if they would be up for it, and just kind of relaying that as we approach for our own food and information.
What do the wounds look like? Weapons, claws, natural, unnatural?
I think I'd have to get closer.
Make a medicine check as well. Since the nat 20 perception check, you can at least see them.
I'll help her with that.
Okay.
Oh, that's better. 24.
24, yeah. The one guy that you can see his shoulder is a bit open, but you can also see it's been stitched closed and then even burned, like that there was an effort to cauterize it after it had been opened. It's a bit jagged. It doesn't look like a clean cut. And you can see that would either be fang, claw, tooth in that category.
Okay.
don't see many new visitors in these parts, and immediately thrusts an arm forward to shake your hand.
Me?
Yeah, Bjorn.
Okay.
You
My
did it.
fine proprietor, and he'll just reach out and shake hands. I just am in awe of the savory nature of your stew over there. I would be so ecstatic to perchance get a bowl or two
Bjorn,
of
focus.
that fine sustenance. Also, do you by chance have mead? I find myself partial to the honey variety of alcohol.
Not what I meant.
That is a delightful repast, mead and stew. Oh, I can't.
The best I can do. Oh, we lost. Okay, no, Zach's back. Okay. The best I can do, my role, my service is to keep the shelves stocked and the cauldron full. Welcome to the Bloody Rose. And of course, and then he puts the cork back into that bottle, puts it to the side from underneath, pulls up a yellowish golden colored bottle. And then just a hefty pour heavy into a glass. So for a local mead for you, sir, and help yourself to that cauldron. And with everybody else, a bowl, a glass, how can I assist?
Can I do an insight check? This guy seems real chipper for something that, like, this town has all these little girls going missing.
Roll an insight check.
Bjorn is just smelling mead, and like he grabs a bowl from the bar and like a spoon, and just like heads to the cauldron and like starts drinking as he goes.
It would be a long rolls here. I got a 7.
7. Okay.
Me and Aaron.
As his eyes kind of move over to you as well, you two just make eye contact for a little moment. And as he sees you kind of reading him over, he also extends his hand forward. Rymar, my name's Rymar. And he still maintains this smile. And what you can see is that like he's very intentionally smiling. For a 7, is like you can see that there's like this effort into smiling as he looks over towards you.
Recognizing the effort that he's putting forward, Coral would extend his hand and go, Coral, pleasure to make your acquaintance. You seem to be doing a very good service for this town and trying to keep things running and going.
I have found that within Darkmoor, you have your sad home, the sad streets, the dangerous outside, and then the Bloody Rose. So may people come here to find some place to just be somewhere else for a night.
I don't disagree. Dangerous outside?
Well, and he gestures over towards the guards that are there as well. Our fine guardians do keep the wolves and the spiders and the beasties and the shadows at bay so that we may stay within these walls, hopefully at peace at night, as we've had for the last fortnight. So yes, venturing much. I'm sure you all ran into some trouble on your way here as well. Just being out from one town to the next is not exactly the safest journey, or else I'm sure everyone would be moving around and somewhere else by now.
We've run into the odd bandit every now and again. Nothing a few adventurers for hire could help protect.
Another dangerous foe, man. And then he raises up a glass to kind of cheers you.
None of us are human. Can I get a port? Just a pint of port?
Pint of port, my man, or non-human, whatever. Reaches back and gets it. Someone going your way.
Pint of port for the half pint.
Coral, we've been over this.
We have it in pints.
It comes in pints.
Rymar, I'm Jill. It's nice to meet you. I'm more interested in information.
Mm-hmm.
I have a listening ear. I met a family outside who are leaving, and they talked about an event that happened with a monster in the middle of town, and girls missing, and I'd love some information, if you have any to spare.
Ah, yes, the widow mourn. I do hope that she and the girls do travel safely. Are you asking about the night of 2 weeks ago where Mark had presumably died?
Presumably.
If I'm not mistaken, and as she has made clear, her Mark and a couple others have not been recovered yet or found, and so if this beast still resides within the mayor's house, then I suppose there may be some remains to be found there. Is that what you were asking about, ma'am?
Yes, Jill. Yes, my name is Jill. Yes.
Jill, yeah.
Ma'am.
What I have gathered, as I also have a listening ear, is on that night this figure, this beast, this shadow has made its way over towards the mayor's house, that there had been some screams and some sounds of danger even within the walls of the mayor's residence. And, well, and his eyes kind of dart over towards the guards in the corner, and he just kind of leans down. Our local guardianship has not made their way into that abode yet, and it has been a fortnight.
At some point during this, like description of the terrors of the night, I think Gordon would be wandering back and just do a really long slurp, just like the one of the moments of like he's got his eyes wide open and just slurping on this stew. As this whole description happens, he's wide-eyed with alarm, but also very much enjoying.
Has anything like this happened before?
Not to this scale, definitely. The mayor has his own protection and extra vigilance from the guards, and for this beast to have made its way into our leader's home, no, nothing to this depth, nothing to this strength.
And the mayor has been seen after this? We know the mayor is alive and well?
Christopher has not been seen, no.
Oh.
Nor his wife, Rose.
Oh. This just keeps getting worse.
Has anybody knocked on the door?
Yes. When she says this keeps getting worse, he cheers to Darkmoor.
Brutal.
Okay.
Has anyone attempted to knock on the door to the residence or make any sort of contact with the inhabitants there?
I heard that it might be locked from some curious ventures.
So no one tried to break down the door, go in?
I do believe the city has made requests for the guards to make their way over, and in their lapse of ability to do so, and then he just does kind of smirk. Someone has at least discovered that the door is still locked.
There is a peculiar thing that I didn't ask. If the door was locked, normally a person would knock first to enter a residence and abode. General practice, I believe. Even in human settlements.
This general person, after not hearing anybody respond, might jiggle the knob.
A true investigator.
It's good that we stumbled upon this town.
Should we go talk to these fine, upstanding gods people and discover why?
It honestly sounds like they might be useless.
Let's not
make sure
jump to conclusions.
Keep your voice down.
It just sounds like maybe they. Is this good for them? Was the mayor in some way not appreciative of the gods' behaviors? I am not understanding why people who protect the town would not be protective of the town's head.
Hey, don't twist my tongue. I they have a very high priority and very valued work of keeping our city safe internally. Rolf has made it very clear that they are completely exerting themselves fully by taking care of these other beasts and threats outside of the wall. If I may quote him, though, I do believe he said they do not have the capital or capacity to investigate ghost stories within these walls. And he says that kind of loudly, and he does keep looking over towards the guards as he says it. But the guards have not heard anything that he has said.
Has Christopher been mayor long?
Absolutely, he has. And when his parents passed away, that he became the mayor, and that was only when he was 19, I believe. And so now, well, and he does a little rest in peace. If so, I believe he was in his 40s. It has been a long may he reign, I suppose.
So telepathically through our like twin speak that we have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say to Jackson, it seems like people are really quick to accept death here when probably nobody is dead. Isn't that kind of weird? Like,
I love it.
Sure you do. Maybe we should. Rymar, thank you for telling us this information. We think we're gonna need a place to stay. I think we should go talk to those guards.
You mean the ones that are terrible at their jobs? And just like
Right?
really raise that up.
Right? Coral.
Whoa,
Maybe
whoa.
I'll just go
Jackson.
talk.
No,
Obviously,
I'm the
they
top.
have done something. They are injured in the course of their duties. They've been doing some guard duty. And it may not be, lay it not on the common man to determine the nature of his orders, all right? Like, there is obviously some other Rolf here. Let's have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
The man is obviously not particularly inclined to help the people within the town, except in the extracurricular activities outside of the town.
Aren't you
Right.
raised by wolves?
He's very mannerly.
Bears,
Oh, he's
however,
very mannerly.
bears, drastic differences between a bear and a wolf. I would not expect you to understand, Jackson. seeing
Four
as
legs,
how-
fur, sharp teeth, ringing a bell.
Well, they actually have very different physiologies. You would not want to treat a wolf like you would treat a bear.
You see Bjorn just all of a sudden he like kind of swells a little bit. He's like, "I'll show you the differences, boy." Just-
Bjorn,
Puts his hand
so-
on
You
Bjorn.
try.
No, it's okay. He's just jealous because he's not as mannerly as you, and his hair doesn't look as good as your hair does.
Excuse me.
That's all.
and,
That's what it is.
Bjorn like visibly like kind of sinks back down, and he just takes his hair is like wild, like it's pink and poofy. He just takes two hands and like slicks it back for a hot second and just springs back up. That's what you say.
Yes.
In our twin speak, I'll remember that.
Okay. I feel like I want to go talk to these guards.
As you all prepare to as well, Rymar just like pours 2 ale flagons out, and he says, "When you make your way over there, compliments of the tavern."
There you go. That's a way to get people talking. Did you just take a sip of their ale?
You gotta try.
Ew. So yeah, I think I'll lead the charge with the tankards and walk right up.
You see 2 dwarven, 1 male, 1 female. One with blonde hair straight down, the female, and then the male has his hair completely shaved down, and absolutely bald, but a very long bushy beard as well. His beard is much longer than hers. And so as you see them sitting next to each other in conversation, they do stop and can peer over as you and the rest of the party walk over. Is this a full group? Okay.
Compliments of Rymar here. And I'll sit the tankards down and scoot them closer.
Are you new serving staff?
No.
Yes.
My name is Jill, and these are my friends, and we're here to help with your ghost problem. And I saw some nasty wounds that you've got going on. I'm a healer. I could help you out, maybe, or if you could tell us what's going on, I could get you another ale if you want.
They want to help out. And then both of the dwarves just kind of chuckle with one another as they sip from the flagon, give a little wave over to Rymar. But the woman, kind of looking over at her shoulder, it's as this close up now, you can see it's pretty crudely stitched up, and still there's a little bit of blood coming down from it. And before he stops laughing, she just kind of butts in. You could help patch this up a bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust her that much. She still hasn't healed this and showed just my hand, an arm.
Oh.
This, please don't fret. This is, he's, I'm just going to cast Healing Word. I'm just going to not know what to say and begin to cast Healing Word.
Right. In your lack of knowing what to say, what do you say for Healing Word?
I think she would say,
peace be
she
with
would
you.
stop. she wears an amulet, and so she would grab her amulet, and I think she would say, "In Paylor's light," and cast Healing Word.
And as you all have seen before, both on yourselves, but as this magical healing happens, you can see that the blood stops pouring down and kind of dries up, and the open wound that was kind of stitched together looks to kind of dry a bit and be magically healed. The male dwarf kind of calms down the laughter. And what ghost or ghost story have you heard?
Well, you have a missing mayor and his spouse, and Mark is missing, and other girls in the village are missing, and they say a beast was headed up to the mayor's house.
It sounds more like you guys just kind of suck at your jobs.
We understand what it means to be understaffed in a time of great need. Please.
Just save it on my part.
Bjorn is going to smack his back of his head as he's sipping and just kaboosh.
Whip out the mirror.
He has a lot of issues. Just disregard anything he says.
As the male dwarf stands up, though without raising an inch, he gets up from his chair. And he's like, I'll have you know that I killed 6 wolves today, beat you when you only got your 4, and we put in a full day's work, and we did ours. We put in our time.
That's a lot. What were these normal wolves?
There's a lot of dogs that you got to kill on a day-to-day basis, apparently, as a guard.
In twin speak, I'm going to say, shut up. Were they normal wolves? I mean, what?
We've not been able to ascertain what has increased their volume or presence here outside of the city, but we have been able to thwart every single den that we have found. Today, I marked off of our map the last known den of wolves outside of this city, proudly accomplishing my job, sir.
Well, suck him right in the face.
What was that?
Corell's gonna sock him right in the face.
The dwarf?
Yeah.
What?
He's a vet.
And you were yelling.
Corell's a vet. This man just admitted to killing a bunch of animals.
Okay.
Roll
As this happens, I think Bjorn would just put him in a bear hug right afterwards and just like try to like take him away from the table. You're like, and that one?
Yeah.
He whiffs.
So
Bear hug.
y'all know your druid companion, and y'all know what irks him and gets him into this way. And so, as you see your druid friend start to get kind of riled up by this story, you're able to kind of pull him back before he does so, and he just like right in front of this dwarf's face, and the dwarf just backs up for a second and sees you pull him back. I never, and then the female dwarf. Let's sit down, drink your ale. They've had a rough day, I'm sure.
Why don't I am so sorry about it. He feels strongly about all wild animals as I also love, but not wolves as much. And I'll
Well,
grab
he is
another
one
phone.
if I've ever seen one.
A lion is a little bit different from a wolf. It doesn't matter. And I'll just grab him by the scruff, and I'm gonna grab Jackson by the scruff. I'll be like, let us go outside for some cool air.
Yes. I would like to try and stay and talk the guards down and be a little bit more amiable than.
How'd you get those wounds?
Ask about the wounds.
Well, first make a persuasion check with advantage because you healed her. You have
Okay.
good standing with them.
With one of them.
15.
Okay, great. So what do you say as you linger behind?
What?
I was listening to him sigh at me. What
Yeah.
did you say? Him
No,
sigh?
exactly.
Is
What
that
do
the
you
one with
say?
the charisma?
What do you say as you linger behind?
Have you ever had one of those days where you just need a long nap? My brother, whom I love very much, he's like a teddy bear underneath all of that weird black arm and his poofy hair. You know, he just needs a nap. And I'm sorry. And, you know, Corel, he just really loves animals. And he doesn't understand your situation. And that's okay. He lacks perspective, but I don't. So if you will talk to me about your experience, and I'd like to try to like scoot closer to them if they're on a booth, of like make myself like solidly a part of this group, and just be very attentive. Like I'm ready to listen to whatever they have to say to me, no matter how weird it is. Like I'm just ready to soak it in.
Right. The male dwarf just goes under his breath, not looking at you or anything. You just hear, coming into my town, swinging fists at me after the day that I had. And he's just like staring down into his ale and he sips it up. But the dwarf across from you that you healed, I understand what you mean about the need for a nap and how that might affect one's mood.
Yes, so we're in agreement. So tell me, how did you get those wounds?
Well, I mean, like Brantley was telling you, we had a day today as we were going through and clearing out some of the dens and weirdly new areas that these wolves have been kind of just setting up around our town. But I mean, today was a day of hope. We had a good day of accomplishment today outside of the walls, and so well, he and I were going in. I think we fought a pack of almost a dozen, just he and I together today, and one of them had latched on really good, and you can see when she patches it or kind of pats at her shoulder that the wound is looking really good and healed over a bit now, and she even kind of pulls some of the stitches out, and you can see it's closed over, and she seems surprised. But yeah, we had a large fight today for the two of us.
Yes, that's a lot. So have you seen an increase in the wolf activity within the last couple weeks from the supposed missing mark happened?
Not an increase in wolves over the last 2 weeks, but our guards have diminished a bit, and so there's just more work for each of us to do and more risk for all of us as well. A couple of guards lost their lives trying to protect the mayor, and so now our hunting packs are smaller, and we're just facing a more uphill and harder fight.
And you probably don't get paid as much as you should. Okay. Thank you for talking with me, especially after my friends. we're
each
going to be
person-
staying around and looking into this. So if you think of anything else, just come and find me. And stay safe.
If you are interested in helping, Rolf may contract you all to assist if you all are interested in helping out with this internal problem. I would pass that up the chain and say maybe go check out the Guardian and go inquire with him.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
Best of luck to you.
Rest well.
And she'll just Brantley like, and as I leave, I would like to order them some more ale. Like tell Rymar like on me and like slide some coin on the bar and then go out to my party.
Yeah.
And relay what they shared.
Through that whole conversation, Brantley has not stopped his muttering, and he's just like mangy claws and matted fur. And...
I feel like she would come out, and I would have, if I can, I don't know if they're gonna let me, but I would be like dunking one of them in the water barrel, and then the next one in the water barrel, and be like, "Behave yourselves."
Yeah, I got like a 0 strength score, so yeah, you could absolutely just dunk me.
Same here. Like I'm the tallest one here. You're still stronger than me.
Great. Yeah. So I will update you all on what they shared and suggest finding Captain Rolf.
So where?
Well, you two are going to need to behave yourselves if we go talk to the guard captain of this. If you can't talk to young whippersnapper in there politely, you are not going to be able to talk to them the same way, my friends. So contain your feelings. Corel, I understand that you have a kinship for all living creatures.
Well, maybe.
Sometimes, though, in the circle of life, there is a need to remove a dangerous predator so that the herd can flourish.
Well, and we could use your expertise. If we run into these wolves ourselves, you can see what's going on.
If these guards figured out what was drawing the wolves here, that would deal with it too. Instead of going out and just slaughtering packs.
Yes.
I'm with her. Well, why are they looking on the outside when everything's happening on the inside of these walls?
Well, I agree. So it's good that we're here. We can just clean this place up.
Then let us go get it handled. And also, for you, Jackson, we shall also be paid then, according to what Jillian and the guard have informed us of. If we barter well, which is your expertise, Jackson. So be on your best behavior, and you might make yourself some coin.
I like coin. All right, you've convinced me.
Oh, what a day.
Do we know this? I believe Sybil said the Guardian was back towards the entryway, the gate.
Yeah, the Guardian's outpost is right. You walked past it to get to the tavern, and so circling back in that direction, you approach the Guardian's outpost of Darkmoor. You're met with this disconcerting sight. This once stalwart defender of the mysterious town, the Darkmoor Guards, appears far more distant from that original vigilant and resolute self. This outpost, a stone structure flanked by tattered banners bearing Darkmoor's insignia, it stands as a testament to the town's determination to protect its people. However, the guards that you encounter on your way and see around the building seem beleaguered and fatigued. You see a couple of them sitting out front with armor once gleaming, now tarnished, and they're sharpening swords over on this like wet stone and this wheel and using that to kind of get some swords back in state to be out and about. And they are, of course, bearing some scars of countless battles that they fought as well. The guards' eyes, as you walk by out front, are shadowed by deep circles of exhaustion, and they even nervously dart around at the party as you all walk by, and they're glancing at you and just kind of almost like flinching away from seeing new people, but then go back down towards sharpening their swords. they're talking with one another in hushed voices and occasional kind of trembling of their hands as they're even sharpening these swords and grinding these weapons down. And you can tell that there's this just thick layer of fear that has gripped them as well.
We're going to get anything useful from these people?
But Corin, it is not these people that we are here for. We are here for Captain Rolf. So let us wait to see. Let us not jump to some hasty conclusions before we ascertain the true nature of these individuals.
Dating my sister, I put on the most saccharine personality that I possibly can. She's like, hey, buddy, is your captain around? We'd love to talk about what's been happening around here and maybe give you some help. And I'll look back at her, just like, and in like telepathically be like, this is you all the time.
I would do the golf clap.
He's right inside. He's working on some ledgers and records, but you go for it. And you see like zero resistance or him just being like, just walk on by.
Paylor's light be with you, and I'll raise up my the black hands and walk.
Gosh.
Yeah, I guess I'll kind of nod my head towards where they pointed to.
Great.
For Captain Rolf.
Yeah, walking right into the actual facility. Y'all follow anything else y'all wanted to do as well?
I think about trying
follow
to
him.
trip Jackson, but that I don't.
She telepathically conveys, I'm going to trip you.
You never know when it's going to come.
I do, because I can read your mind.
Right, so y'all can enter the outpost, and you can see from within this red-haired dwarf sitting in scratched up leather, is kind of torn, not holding together in itself, but you can see it's like on the left shoulder there's 3 threads of almost shoestring width that's holding this particular patch on his left shoulder together, but the undergarments of that armor are a bit cleaner and fine, that you can tell that these are older destructions of his armor. But as he's sitting in that, he's got a ledger and he's writing out and kind of tracking some things behind the desk as you enter. But then he just looks up, closes a book, sets it down on the desk. Some new
Hi.
visitors. Hello.
Yes, we're travelers, and we have come across your beautiful city and have talked with a couple people now and realized that a lot of people are awfully sad. And so we're just trying to figure out how we can help. Just like...
And then he's just like, he's trying to read into what the hell you were doing. Because that tone was laced. Okay. Who have you talked to?
So we've talked to Sybil, who apparently is moving out with her daughters and just lost Mark. God, Paylor rest his soul.
You're saying everything wrong.
And then we talked to the innkeeper,
Rymar, and we spoke with some of your guards, and they were sharing some of the troubles that you've had lately and about your missing mayor and his wife Rose. So we're here to help.
and all
We're
the
experts.
wolves as well. And
Yes.
just like trying to talk
Yeah,
over.
We're experts in this type of work, and so we would love to offer our services and get any information from you that we possibly can.
We just gotta help.
Well, great then. And then you can see he's just like completely walking back where he was mentally, but then now stepping into this space with you. He's what? The 4 of you would like to extend a contract, let me please then bring this morale and effort that you have in order to assist with this problem. Let me back you, please. How would you like to help?
We'd like to go and give just a wellness check on the mayor.
Well, and we'd like some information from you, obviously.
Of course, a briefing would be appropriate with a new band of mercenaries here joining in for the cause.
That's an ugly word.
Can I do an insight check on Captain Rolf?
Yeah, roll insight.
I was just about to ask the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Can I give myself guidance?
I was going to give it to you, Tana.
Okay.
Which word stuck out to you? What was an ugly word?
Mercenaries.
Yeah.
24.
24?
I got
Yes.
15.
Okay, great. Both of you, and then I'll give a little more for just Tana's character, but both of you can see, once he asked you all the specific details of what you were interested to help in, and he realized it was the like internal stuff with the mayor, he just immediately was like, yes, please. Like his whole demeanor was like leaning into, here are some people who will help take care of this problem, that in him, he is clearly in that kind of turmoil, has some desperation to like delegate. He's just like, okay, great. Like, here are some people who want to do it. Let's get that done.
Cool.
And so, Tana, for you as well, with rolling a 24 to that, you can tell that there is a bit of a, like, there's an energy to him where it's like, this is a non-issue. This doesn't seem to even be a problem, but here are some people who will take care of it. Like, so to him, it's like, oh, great. Like, this, whatever, go.
Okay. Does it seem like in a malicious way that he doesn't think it's a problem, or is it just he's an overburdened captain of the guard and people freak out about this kind of stuff all the time, and so it's not anything to...
Yeah, between the ghost stories quotes you got from Rymar and then his like very diligent like way that he was going through, like particularly what he was writing down and how diligent he was about his job, and then everything you've heard from the guards as well and all of that, like he seems completely like his resources are being fully used. And so this, you all coming in are like in one way like fresh bodies, but not in a dismissive way, just like, oh, here are some people who can do some work that needs done.
Okay.
So, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you've found out so far, what we need to know, and yeah, why everything seems so gloomy, and why everyone's talking about monsters in the middle of your town.
So, yes, there was an event, there was an attack, there was an incident about 2 weeks ago that, well, you had met Mark's family, or the evening that Mark had passed away. It was also the evening that, well, there was a lot of commotion and energy within the mayor's home, and though we've not been able to investigate and see exactly what had happened, you would likely be the people who could then go in and, under the direction and authority of the guardian here, you would be permitted to then investigate that home and determine exactly what had happened within the mayor's abode. But, well, that creature, that beast that had killed some civilians that were out in the streets, well, if it has maintained its position there within the home, or some civilians, some people had said that there was a bit of maybe the continued sounds of some type of, sorry, Cassandra just came in and gave me a cake. Sorry, back in, all right. Cool. So yeah, some people who live near the mayor's home have continued to give me stories of they hear voices, they hear talking. It could be the mayor, it could be his wife, they're ghosts. This whole thing of like, look, they probably went through something traumatic and they just need some time and they'll be out. But if you could go and talk with him and just make sure that given enough time, he will be fine to then resume his duties, that would be good. I think the true crime here as well is that, well, also the city's alchemist has not been able to be found. And as somebody who often healed our guards and took care of us, well, I would be also very curious to know what happened with him. If you would maybe also check out his place. Between those two, you would be doing us a huge favor, and I would be willing to compensate you for your time and any information that you're able to uncover as well.
I have 2 questions.
My dear captain, excuse my intrusion here in this fine conversation, but you're telling me, first of all, several people have gone, they died, but you also have said that they are missing. Are they missing or dead? Those are two drastically different approaches to life. And yet again, the alchemist is also missing, but is that person dead or just missing? Because again, there's a host of misclarifications here that are not, things are not adding up.
I agree. And in my business, I work on information and facts. And at this point, I do not have the direct information to tell you which it is. Some people around town may throw around the word dead willy-nilly, but until I have that confirmed, I will say missing.
Okay, so there's several people who are missing. The alchemist, Mark, the mayor and his wife, maybe. We heard about some missing girls.
Missing.
Do you have a whole list of people that are missing? Just one big list.
Ideally with descriptions of what they look like.
I do. And then he heads over to his book, makes a copy of a page, writes some stuff out, tears out that page and hands it over. And for that matter, yeah, like all the people that you've listed with a brief physical description, all of that, he's able to then hand over. And it's pretty much that. Mayor, wife, alchemist, 3 girls, Mark, you know the list.
Okay, thank you. My second question, and this is just so I can understand Darkmoor, so please don't take any offense to this question. Who will become mayor if your mayor is no longer alive? Process for that?
Well, presumably it would be the mayor's son, but he hasn't had no kids. So at this standpoint, we would. Zach, you good?
I was like expecting like, oh, but he was also in the manor, but you just were like, he didn't have any. That's not.
It doesn't exist.
He is truly missing. He is truly missing.
Truly missing from the equation.
You know, and so I'm not an expert in local politics to know how or what process would determine who Mayor 2.0 would be. I don't know.
I mean, usually it's an election, just so you know. Like mayor is usually an elected official.
Well, but in times
times
of trouble, someone could be appointed to the role. And if we're thinking about motivations or something, maybe that person who's going to be appointed could be.
Sure, I'm just talking monarchy versus democracy is all I'm talking.
As they're having this discussion, I'm going to turn to Corel and I'm just going to be like, I believe I am starting to side with you on the nature of this guard captain and the guards herein.
You see?
I'll just be like, just wonderstruck that the guard captain has no knowledge of the internal politics of his own city.
Yeah.
Like, Corella's going to look at Bjorn and go, I think maybe we take over this city. Clearly, their leadership is inept.
I don't. Do you want to stay here? I have no desire to.
Someone has to stop them from killing more wolves.
We're in the process of doing so. Cora.
I would like to redirect my attention back to Captain Rolf.
Okay.
and ask, when we came upon Darkmoor, it seems like everyone is feeling this loss that everybody has had recently. Has it always felt so heavy here, or 2 weeks ago was this town different?
Man, has it been 2 weeks already? I know, it just, once you think about it, it feels fast. No, it used to be a bit more vibrant. It used to be a bit more lively, but I think all of the stress and potency of these attacks and people going missing, it's been hard to really settle in, I suppose.
There's a
Dang,
bed
can I
out in the
tell-
courtyard if you need to lay down.
Yeah. Can I tell if this man is just very tired or if he's had like a stroke? Like,
He's very obviously very tired.
okay.
My guy, just go out into the courtyard at Mary's house. There's just a bed out there.
I'll go
Did
rest
anything
when my
else-
city can rest.
Right. Yes. Yes. Did anything else happen that was strange or notable to you prior to all of this? I mean, weird things happen. We've seen plenty of oddities in our day.
The thing that I cannot make sense of while I have been going over my notes and trying to figure out exactly what happened 2 weeks ago is, what does this have to do with the alchemist? We know that civilians have seen that this beast that came in went to the mayor's house, and people heard the screaming of the attack within that house or whatever was going on. The fact that our alchemist is completely not present and not around is, no one has any account of what happened there.
Did the alchemist have like a shop or a clinic or somewhere
Yes.
here in the town? Okay.
Johann Grem is his name, and he had a laboratory. Looking for my map. He had a laboratory on the opposite end of the general store, across from the chapel, just on the northwest side. It's right next to the mayor's house as well. So if you are to take under some form of contract with me today, well, they're right next door.
Dan, did the captain say anything about the guard, like his guards reducing in number at all?
Did he say anything about that?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
So I think Corell would then ask, you said you've been short-staffed. Have you been losing guards, or like, I know that some have perished in your woeful genocide of the wolves. However, have you have any just disappeared, not returned, anything like that?
2 weeks ago, on the night of the attack, we lost 3 of our best guards, and then within the last 2 weeks, because we have had weaker flanks and weaker numbers, we have lost a number more.
I'm sorry to hear that. I do have a couple questions kind of sprouting from that, though. Do you have a description of this beast? It seems like many people have seen it or fought it. Do you have something saying what this looks like?
The best description I heard was from Mary, or Sybil? Oh, gosh.
Sybil.
Sybil Morton?
Sybil.
I don't know why I said Mary. Was from Sybil, where it was a moving darkness and swiftness. It had moved across their porch. From that, it was able to take mark within a moment's notice, something swift. My imagination has filled in some spaces, but that has not been helpful or factual.
My second question for you is, of the guards that you've lost, How many bodies have you recovered?
The night of the attack, we were able to recover 3 bodies.
And where are they currently entombed or buried?
In the graveyard within the town.
We'll be checking those out. Thank you.
Mhm.
We would love to accept a contract.
For 10,000 gold.
Done. With heavy sarcasm.
All right, I suppose we can go lower. What were you thinking?
I see 4 of you in front of me, what I imagine is a night, maybe 2, depending on the efficiency of your work. I would generously offer 20 gold apiece for 24 hours work.
Per diem as well?
At which location?
I only know of the Bloody Rose. Do you have another tavern within this town?
No, but if you would need your weapons or armors tended to, or a resupply of some sort, I would like to know which of these places you were hoping to receive funding.
Oh, the blacksmith. I think we can probably just take stuff from the alchemist's shop, since he's missing. So yeah, food and armor and weapons, I believe. That's probably it, yeah. I mean, if we save your town, it's the least you could do for us, yeah?
I'll send word.
Thank you.
Great. We have a lot of places to go. Are we ready?
Well, we have had a long day of travel.
I do wonder if we could make one quick stop, at least to the alchemist abode, and potentially we could knock on the door of the mayor if that is yet to happen.
Sure.
Check it out and just see what we see.
You said it was evening, Dan, when we got in. Is it still like, it's not like true night yet, or is it like pretty
It's starting to
nighty
get,
night?
between those conversations, everything y'all set up, it's like the sun is fully set. So we're looking at maybe 8, 9 p.m.
Okay.
Where are we heading?
I think let's start at the alchemist shop first, just to see. It sounds like he was one of the first to go missing. That may be where the trail is. Hopefully, where we can find a trail first.
Suspect, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sounds good. So you walk north through town and then head over towards the west. In front of you, down the main stretch of the road, you can see this larger infrastructure that is the mayor's house. But heading off to the left, you then see this smaller house, clearly where the captain of the guard had directed you. And so you're able to isolate it pretty well. Before you is the alchemist's house in the western reaches of Darkmoor. An unsettling sensation washes over you and your fellow adventurers. The mere sight of the dwelling, with its ivy-covered walls and slightly crooked chimney, fills the air with an aura of foreboding. The structure itself, while outwardly appearing like any other residence in this enigmatic town, holds an eerie quality that sets it apart. The windows, though intact, seem to peer out like watchful eyes, and the wooden door, weathered and worn, radiates a disquieting energy. Even from the outside, it's as though the house harbors secrets too unsettling to be contained within its walls. The very atmosphere seems to whisper of forgotten alchemical experiments, arcane rituals, and elusive knowledge that have left their indelible mark on this place. How would you like this building?
As we kind of approach, can I cast Detect Magic as a ritual? Just kind of taking 10 minutes to like walk around the perimeter for a while. I would want to like I want to like sniff out magic, right? Mm-hmm. So like it's maybe not like a sight thing, or like I can see like the scent trails or whatever, but I want to like sniff out magic with my nose with Detect Magic.
For sure. So as you're casting Detect Magic and then you give a hefty whiff of the air, go ahead and make an Arcana check for me with advantage.
Can I check the door for any kind of like traps to
Mhm.
see if this was more of something that was left hastily or broken into, or if this was something that is now like set up?
Yeah, roll an investigation check. And what'd you do for your Arcana?
12.
12? Okay, great. As you give that heavy sniff in, you can smell the ingredients towards alchemy. There is nothing strong in the sense of like a magical presence within this space.
Okay.
And you get this burning chemical smell pretty strongly from the outside of the building.
Okay.
13.
Then yeah, I'll just keep.
Sorry, Zach.
No, I was just gonna say I'm gonna keep concentrating on detect magic then, just for like the full 10-minute duration as we're kind of like investigating into that, and just in case something like pops up as we kind of get into the house itself.
For sure. Yeah, as you peer over the door, you can tell that there's nothing hinky going on here. The door is a door that is locked, but there's nothing established or very intentionally set up to prevent people from coming in, except for the mundane lock as a part of it.
Do we need to just slip on in?
Try the door.
Yeah.
All right, the door is locked. So how would you all like to proceed in entering? There are some windows. There's a door. There's a lock.
Is there any? I was gonna say, is there any like cracked windows or like not cracked, but like slightly open windows, or like heck, a cracked window would work too.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a window on either side of the door, and they don't seem cracked. But if you wanted to break them to enter, that would be possible.
And Carl's gonna kind of put his hand on Bjorn's shoulders and go, I think I can get this one. In order to get us all inside, and I'm going to expend the use of my wild shape in order to turn into a rat.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and under the door, just scrape my way through in order to get under the door.
Right, easy enough. You flatten your body and are able to use that rat musculature to just squeeze on under. What gets hard about doing that is once you break your way through the wood and get to the inside, you find yourself like fully submersed within a liquid. And so you're like holding your breath and then you pop your head up, but then you're on the other side of the door.
Before I revert, I know I'm in a liquid. Do I see, I'm guessing doing a quick scan to see if there's anything there that looks dangerous.
Sure, go ahead and roll a perception check.
And I use the rat perception, correct?
Yep.
Okay. There you are. Perception, non-gray. 11.
An 11? Okay. So you can see that there's a body, maybe like 20 to 30 feet ahead of you. Beyond that, within the space, the liquid that you kind of pushed your head through was blood that trailed from that body. And so as you get your head through and kind of move forward, there's different like collapsed remains of stuff within the house that you can immediately see. There's like a chandelier that has fallen. There's some broken like pottery and things like that. But there's nothing like very like trapped or poised or dangerous in the space right now.
In that case, I will revert my wild shape back to my normal physical form, and unlock the door and open it up and go, I think I know what happened to the alchemist, as they just kind of see me there kind of drenched in blood.
Great. I got the map updated for you all as well. So there we are there. But yes, your Leonin druid friend opens the door from the inside and is standing in a puddle of blood.
Yeeks. Well, this does bode ominously for the fate of the alchemist. and the town if they are lacking in a healer at this point.
No, not exactly gonna great start, especially where this is at. But I think we've got a house to check out to see if we can figure out what happened.
Is it dark in the house, Dan? Like, are we able to see, or are there lights in there?
Yeah, it's completely dark. There's no torchlight or anything from within.
Okay.
I can, if we want, I can cast light on like my mace and carry it around, so that way we can see.
Sure.
Okay, great.
Actually, do we all have dark vision? I was just thinking about that.
I do.
I think Leanna do.
Orel, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yep, 60 feet.
Okay. Yeah, so we can cast light to just aid the investigation, but yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. As she reaches down and casts light on the mace, what immediately happens is the light erupts out within the room, and it opens up all of the chamber for y'all to be able to see through from the entranceway all the way to the wall. But then it's immediately responded to by the loud sound of fluttering, and you can hear as many bats just start to then flutter out within the space and then head out towards the door that y'all had opened up. Can I get a dexterity saving throw from everybody?
Oh gosh.
Should be good.
17.
17?
8.
15.
15, okay.
20, not natural.
Okay, so one of you, Nate, you're going to take 5 slashing damage as these bats kind of flutter around you, and you take this like slashing from their claws as they just kind of move by. But there's so many bats in this, we're talking dozens and dozens, that there's actually going to be 4 swarms that remain within the space, and we're going to roll initiative.
Wow.
Hey.
First fight of the one shot, let's go.
Oh,
Zach, I feel like you rolled a 1.
I did not. I rolled
I
an
did.
8. A 1? Oh
second,
no.
second one of the night.
14 for Corel. Are you missing anyone?
For me.
Give me just a moment. Run. Okay, cool. Corral, what'd you roll?
14.
Team Jackson.
Total of 3 with a nat 1.
Got it. Bjorn.
9.
9, and Jillian.
7.
7.
Oh gosh.
Doing it.
Doing
Cat.
great.
All right.
All these bats are gonna go before us.
The first swarm is going to be right up, the one that's right up in the front by, who is this? Jackson. So swarm of bats on Jackson is going to immediately bite at you. And so we're going to see if does a 13 hit.
It does.
Okay. That's surprising, but also it's a level 3 one shot. So you're going to take 3 piercing damage. As a couple of dozen of bats within the space just starts fluttering at you and getting little scratches and bites within your face and your neck, and just like completely covering you within your clothes and your armor. Next up in the initiative is Coral.
Oh man, that's frightening. I'm going. Yeah. Given that this is going to be such a problem, and first I want to ask: should we be sharing our screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Okay, so the swarm of bats in the back. About how far apart is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. Every token is about a 5 foot area. And so from you to the one in the very back is like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30. It's about 40 feet.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I'm just going to attack the swarm of bats in front of me using the cantrip Primal Savagery. It is a melee spell attack, if that's all right.
Go for it.
Beautiful. Okay, that's a 7.
Does not hit.
Nope. Then I do believe that is kind of going to be what Corel does at this point, because he doesn't really want to move and provoke an attack of opportunity, and my bonus actions aren't great for what I want to do right now. So end my turn there.
You got it. So the swarm in front of you then is going to take its turn and attack you. And this is a 14 to hit.
Just misses.
Just misses. Okay, so as these bites kind of flutter on you, your fur is enough of a buffer and a barrier between you and their teeth that you're able to then kind of push them off and shake them away. After that one is the bat here, who's then going to fly right into our friend Jillian. And so Jillian, is dozens of bats then come towards you. We're looking at a 14 to hit you as well. What's your armor class there, Jillian?
There you go.
17 is my armor class. They do not hit. I raise my shield up and I make them run into
Cloud of
the
bats. Just right into your teeth. So with that it for them, Bjorn, you're up, and then Jillian, you're next.
Yeah. I would like to cast Fairy Fire targeted further out, but so the edge of the square hits all 3 bats in front of us.
Perfect.
I don't think it'll get the other bat. I think it's too far away. But the 3 swarms kind of in a line. They just need to make a dex save, 13.
Okay. And okay. That's a 7. It's a 10. And a 12. What do they need to make?
13. So,
Right.
yeah. So they're all outlined in these kind of like purpley green like flames that just kind of like whoosh, kind of around every object. But yeah, it's advantage on all attacks. So, Bjorn kind of like shoots it out, and there's the flames, and then you just see him kind of. And he just kind of roars, and out pops as a bonus action a big brown bear. As he's gonna come like swing around the swarm of bats and start like he's gonna actually stand behind the 2 swarms of bats. Is it okay if I just move? Okay, yeah, right there. Yep. Kind of threatening from behind, but that's my turn.
Got it. Okay, cool. After that transformation, Jillian, you're up, and then Jackson.
Great. So I'm holding up my shield to block these bats. I see the ones swarming Jackson. I would like to use Sacred Flame on the one swarming Jackson because I know he's squishy.
Okay.
So they need to make a dexterity saving throw, and the DC is 14.
They rolled an 18.
Oh, well, they don't take any damage. So,
okay. Yep. Thank you.
And then I think, I think over our twin speak, she's just gonna be like, duck behind me. And I'm gonna stay where I am, and I'm not gonna do a bonus action. So,
okay, gotcha. Okay, that brings us to Jackson.
Okay, so I would like to cast. I'll at the bats in front of me. I will do Tasha's Mind Whip,
Okay.
which they have to make an intelligence saving throw. But I'm going to spend a sorcery point so that way I can get a twin spell and get the one attacking Jillian as well.
Okay.
So both bats have to make intelligence saving throws, and then
Gotcha.
I can give you the details of the spell if they fail.
There's a 1,
Failure.
a 2.
So both fail. So first they take 3d6 psychic damage
Jeez.
as Jackson's arm just kind of flares with this shadow magic coming off of it, kind of flaring out from the veins as he's kind of speaking deep speech. That's a fantastic roll.
Yeah.
I needed that. So that is 17 points of psychic damage each.
Jeez.
Which ones did you attack specifically?
The one in front of me and the one in front of Jillian.
Got it. Okay, cool. 17.
17 points. They can't take reactions until the end of their next turns.
Okay.
And moreover, on their next turn, they have to choose whether they move, take an action, or bonus action. It only gets one of the three.
Got it.
So
Wow.
both of them only get that.
As this arcane wave of energy comes out of Jackson, these two swarms of bats that are there, maybe like 4 dozen or so, he raises his black hand forward. This pulse of black magic energy wafts out in front of him, and then more than half of these bats just and rain onto the ground into the puddle of blood at your feet.
Bat soup. There you go.
With that, since those two can't take reactions, I think I'll actually move away and get into the room so we're not so clustered up.
Good there?
Yeah, that'll work.
Right. Okay, amazing turn. And after Jackson is the bats he ran towards, who now come towards him. And so-
Yay!
As these extremely intelligent creatures attack the most close threat to them, they will make a bite attack towards you, and is a 19 to hit.
Jeez.
We're looking at 2 damage. And so you get little tiny pincers coming in at your neck and little bat bites here and there. After that swarm of bats is the first one who's coming in towards your sister now.
So that's all they can do.
Correct. Thank you. Coral, you're up.
So this is going to be a little weird. So I'm going to use the Speech of the Woods feature.
Okay.
And that lets beasts can understand my speech and I gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions. And I'm going to gesture to the bats that Jack dropped and say, if you all don't leave now, we will slaughter your entire swarms, and I do not wish to do so. If you leave, you may return to this house when we have left its premises.
Okay. Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Can't do intimidation. I don't have great charisma. That's going to be a 19.
Okay.
Nice.
Boom and boom. Those 2 swarms of bats just completely dissipate out towards the front door and bolt out of the way.
Okay. Do you want that to count as an action and or bonus action, Dan? Since technically the speech is special, but I know that the intimidation check may have been something.
I'm good for that, to just be free as you spoke and used your natural feature for that. I also just love the imagery of a lion screeching in bat.
Seeing that there are still 2 bat swarms remaining, I'm going to look at this bat swarm right in front of me, and I'm going to use my Daunting Roar feature. So the bats need to make a wisdom saving throw, or they're frightened of me until the end of my next turn.
Okay. You said wisdom?
Yep. Yes. DC 12.
Rolled a 17.
Okay. In that case, knowing that I gave them the opportunity to leave without being harmed, I'm going to go ahead and use my action for the Primal Savagery cantrip again.
Okay.
You have I think, advantage because it's how does that work? Melee spell attack?
Yeah.
It's advantage still because it's melee?
Sure. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Then that will be a 23 to hit.
That hits a bat. Many bats. You're just clawing at this like thick air filled with bats.
Then damage. That is going to be 10 acid damage.
Primal Savagery acid damage?
Yep, my teeth and or claws become corrosive as I make
Okay.
the
Sweet. All right. The next swarm of bats has left. So next after that is the other swarm, this one here. And so it is going to attack Corel back.
Okay.
And we have a 19. That was a 14. It looked like an 11. So 19 to hit.
19 absolutely hits.
And this one, 6 piercing damage on that as bats are fighting their way through your fur to actually get into biting into your flesh underneath. After that swarm, we're up to a couple of y'all, I think. Wrong page. There we go. Bjorn, you were up, and then Jillian, and then Jackson.
Yeah. I'm going to attack in my brown bear self towards the swarm of bats right in front of me.
Mhm.
That is not what I wanted. Dang it. So let me think here. Doing some math here. It is first with the claw, so it's going to be 23 to hit. Yep. Okay. That is. This is so aggravating. 11 plus 4 is 15 points of slashing damage for the claws.
That kills
And
that.
then, okay. So yeah, this bear just and just slashes with his claw, just smashing down, kind of like flattening, I guess, a whole herd of bats, swarm of bats. The bear, not seeing any other kind of enemies in front of it, then is going to turn and come over to help Jackson, I think.
Right.
Is there? I don't know. I've never been a druid multi-shaping before, wild shaping before. Is multi-attack and like attack with like double action the same, or like does it all need to happen in one like space? Does that make sense?
No, you can
Okay.
continue to use other multi-attack things.
Then I would turn around in my bear form, come over and help Jackson, and I would try to make a chomp on these bats. I don't have advantage because there's no fairy fire on them. That is a well, let me think here. 15 plus 6, so 21 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, and then ooh, good rolls today. A D8 plus 4, so that's 12 points of piercing damage.
Right. Yeah. As you bite down, you get a mouthful of bats. Many more than one in your mouth.
No.
Right. Jillian, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna take my full movement of 25 feet towards that room.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna try to do what I did last time with Sacred Flame.
Right.
They have to make a dex saving throw 14.
Nat 20 on that bat.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Bat 20. Okay.
I think Jillian's just gonna like point her hand out to cast the spell, and with it not happening, the last 2 times, like she's just gonna like look at her hands and like shake them a little bit. It's like, and kind of twin speak, just be like, sorry.
Bats in hair. Why you do something?
Jackson, after screaming, will you do something? You were up.
Yes, I will do something. I will do. Let's see damage between these two. Yeah, I'm gonna do Mind Sliver, so they gotta make another intelligence saving throw. 14 is what you're looking for, Dan.
9.
9. So D6 of damage, and then they subtract a D4 from the next saving throw they make.
Okay.
4 points of psychic damage.
Okay, and that'll help Jillian. Next time they need to make a dex save.
Yeah.
All right, they will go next, and they're going to attack Jackson.
Why? There's a bear.
The ones that would have attacked the bear were eaten by the bear. That is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, it hits, Dan.
They deal 2 piercing damage.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah. And after that, Swarm's attack is Coral.
Kind of not wanting to be left out of the fray. Coral will kind of, if he can, try and move his way over here.
What is your movement speed?
35.
15, 20, 25, 30, 30. It's close enough. Go for it.
Then I will throw another Primal Savagery. Natural 1. I have advantage because they're surrounded.
Sure. Yeah. You can roll again.
Oh, it's even better with a 2.
Oh my gosh. That's invincible.
Yeah, like a cat chasing a beam of light across a room. The Coral is not quite making contact. Bjorn, you're up.
All right. I will go ahead and make an attack. And since there is advantage, I guess I'll roll with advantage just to see. First one was better. It's a 17 to hit.
That is.
All right. And then that is 14 points of slashing damage with the claws. Roar up and slash down again, trying to flatten everything.
Well, you can describe the last kill of this combat.
Sweet. Yeah, I think, like I said, Bjorn just roars up and you kind of see his paws spread wide and just spreads them down as the bats just like flutter limply and flap.
As the 4 to 5 dozen of bats have been swatted at and cleared from the premises, you all can see a very half-eaten form of a where are we at here? Of a half-elf male's body lying on the ground as many small pores have been kind of gored out of their body and blood has been kind of pouring out of them within this space. You are now currently within the alchemist's lab. What else would you like to do?
I think in your head I would yell at you, I said to get behind me, not run away, as I put my stuff away.
Says the person who casted light to spook all the bats in the first place.
I would like to go inspect the body up close, I guess.
Got it. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I will help her with that.
Mm-hmm.
He is a bear. Oh, go ahead, girl.
I was just going to say, having seen Jackson kind of get his rear kind of kicked by the swarms of bats, Corel is going to expend a use of Healing Word at first level as well on Jackson. So Jackson,
I was just going to say, Bjorn as a bear is going to go sniff around the room, just doing a once over for any, just kind of investigating for any peculiar scents
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation as well.
What'd you get?
I was waiting for Bjorn. I got a 16.
Okay. And Bjorn?
I got 12.
Okay, great. As you all step forward and you can get to this body that's in front of you and look around the room, first thing is you can tell that this body's been here for a little bit, around maybe more than 2 weeks, and the blood has been just continuously growing as these bats have been biting into and kind of feasting on this body here. It's been taking a long time, but there have been just all of these bats kind of flocking in towards this place as the blood has brought them in. Sorry, Tana, what did you roll?
A 16.
Okay, great. As you also look at this body in particular, you can see that there's more than just bite wounds on the body. There's actually a stabbing wound right in the center of his chest, right in the torso. And then you also find an iron key in his left pocket. For smells in the room as well, Bjorn, as you are within this space, the caustic kind of burning smell of the lab is even stronger, and you can smell that that's coming from a very southern portion of this space, which leads you to a door that's on the south end.
I will let everyone know. What was his name? Johann?
Yeah.
Was stabbed in his chest. And here's a weird key.
So the wound in his chest going in or coming out?
As if something had burst out of him?
Yes.
From the outside.
Stabbing wise?
Yes.
So stabbed,
stab wound is caved in rather than exploded out. Okay.
What a gross question, Jack. But yes, he was stabbed.
I'm being thorough in my investigation of the corpse.
Jillian, can I see the key?
Yes.
Okay, and Coral will go see if it actually works on the door to the alchemist, like that house itself, or if it doesn't fit.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, good. You're checking it on the southern door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would actually start huffing as a bear. I'd be like, and like start pawing at it.
What is it, boy? What is it?
Great.
You just see the bear like pause and just like rise up and growl directly at Jackson, and then like flump back down and just like start banging on the door with its paw.
Yeah, it reveals to you these two southern rooms that you have access to now, and so in this room you can see two bedside cabinets beside a bed. All of this stuff seems ransacked and thrown around, and it looks like the space has been completely like unearthed and flipped. Can I get anybody who would do an investigation or perception? Can I get 2 rolls for that, whether that's one person doing it or with advantage, or 2 different people doing an investigation and perception?
My investigation's pretty good.
I would do a perception check, I think, but
What's you're still bear, right? Which gives you keen senses?
it does for rely on smell. So I don't know if Dan let that happen, but
It depends. Like I will give you different information based on whether you're sniffing around this room or whether you are searching.
Okay. I think I would sniff if somebody else wants to like visually search.
Yeah, I'll investigate.
Okay.
Coral will give Jackson guidance then.
Got it.
Oh, that was terrible.
12.
Well,
10 for me.
okay. Bjorn, as a bear, you meander over towards a hearth that is here within this space. And though it may be weeks old, there's another meat stew brewing. And it kind of just pulls you along to the side. Amazing, though, that you are able to cut out that scent from the caustic burning smells of the chemicals that are back here in the lab area. And then Jackson, for your investigation, as you're searching through, you find that like a lot of this stuff is like there's a desk in the room. All the drawers are open, and stuff is just kind of scattered around the room. There are pouches, there are dusts, there are just things that are left behind. With that too, there's like a chest that's wide open in the bottom. Clothes are strewn about. You eventually get into the bedroom that's there, just next to the room that you're in, and there's a massive pool of blood on the bed and next to it. And then there's a slight trail from that bed over towards the body that's in the main room.
He have a ring on his finger.
Does he have a ring on his finger?
Give me 1 second. You don't see a ring on his finger. What was your roll again, by the way?
It was a 16.
16. Okay. You were able to pull out a note that was in his pocket. And so it reads this. You find a scroll kind of bound up within his chest that says, "Dearest Johann, I cannot do this anymore. I must confess that your love gave me something to yearn about, but my ardent love for Christopher knows no bounds. That is why we must stop. We must stop before he finds out, and the situation might degenerate. I beg you, forget about me. Yours only in spirit, Rose."
What twist?
And then within that letter bound up, you found a brass key as well.
Oh. I think I would walk to you and speak loudly so everybody can hear the contents of the note and say, "I found another key."
Bjorn is in the process of reverting back into his dwarf self from bear form as he's about to reach for the stew, and he pauses and goes, "Huh?" Still like in a very bear, like gruff, like big raspy voice, and then he's going to come wander back into the main area to have more conversation about this.
You shouldn't eat that, Bjorn. You could get very ill.
I understand it is hard to sometimes to suppress the bear urges. Sometimes it smelled very good, falling right off the bone in there.
I
Some
mean,
things-
it
too
is.
much.
Some things are just a bare necessity.
Yes, indeed.
Can't be good having been cooked for literal weeks.
Well, you must bear with me. I cannot help but
No. So,
I can barely contain my disgust.
I'm going to kill someone if someone makes another bear pun. That's a promise.
So do we
Oh.
think this affair was found out? He was
Apparently.
in bed and moved. Yes, I'll read the note. Oh no.
I
misheard you.
would.
Can I start looking around for what this brass key might go to?
Like looking around the room or just studying the key itself?
I guess looking around the room.
Okay. Do perception or investigation, your choice.
Okay.
as she's doing this, I think I would. Jillian, do you not believe that perhaps this is a key to Rose's house? We could go, if it does not fit in anything here, we could see if it does fit the lock at one of the manor's doors. It does seem odd that she would give it to him in a letter, removing herself from his life, but
Yeah, that's a good thought. I got a 15.
Okay. As you search around the room, you're able to find a couple vials of like alchemist's fire type stuff within the lab. But beyond that, when it comes to like chests or closets or doors or hidden areas that key might go to, you find nothing.
Why would you move the body?
Right.
There is plenty of blood here in the bed on the floor. You're telling me that this man was able to get up after being stabbed in the chest and move? What? Why the
No,
broken chandelier?
Oh, right. I was going to ask you about that. But I'm thinking he was sleeping in the bed and someone came in and stabbed him, someone being the mayor, having had motive, or the wife if Johann wasn't going to be quiet. And then if they were trying to hide the evidence of that, move the body and then something else happened. But I don't see any other wounds on him besides from the bats. So I don't know. I'm just trying. This is a safe space to like brainstorm and think about possibilities, think outside the box, lateral thinking.
Gonna judge you for
we
everything
talk
you
about
say.
this all the time and it just doesn't sink in.
Never will. Question. How'd the bats get in?
Asking me.
If the windows were closed, you mean?
The windows were closed, the door was closed and locked. That many bats came in through the chimney, through the fireplace?
I mean,
Why?
bats have been known to roost through chimneys, especially if they're not actively pouring smoke.
Swarms of bats, though? Swarms of them? And why here? It's this similar kind of thing of why are these wolves starting to come in and around town? It feels very suspicious. Broken chandelier.
I think we need to go to Rosa's house. I think that's the next key to this puzzle.
We could also, go to sleep.
I was just about to suggest that perhaps we could go test the key, but it also could wait until the morning time. And I do understand our friend Jackson here had quite a few encounters with those bats.
Let me be clear here. I'm doing okay. I'm not as squishy as some of you believe me to be. I'm just I have a magnetic personality and things want to come towards me.
Like to like in the case of bloodthirsty bats and you, Jackson. And I'll just walk towards the door.
Hilarious. From the bear man who almost ate 2-week-old stew.
And some tasty bats.
Ugh.
Why don't we check out Rosa's house tonight? We're on a little bit of a roll, and if this did start 2 weeks ago, we're already behind and trying to play catch up.
It is next door.
So, if you all are amenable to use one of the words my friend Bjorn is fond of, why don't we just check and see what we can find?
That seems like a source of astute judgment. Cora, let us go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So then, leaving the alchemist's home, you then take a brief left through the streets of the town and head towards the mayor's house. One of the first things you notice is you all step onto the front porch and begin to assess the doorway. You can't help but look over your shoulder, and just a couple of townsfolk seem very eagerly and interested that these new travelers are then actually heading towards the mayor's house to investigate, and a very small crowd starts to gather around the corner, maybe 100 to 120 feet away, but you all are still able to notice it and hear them kind of whisper and peer around the corner, just very interested in this kind of development within the story even.
Corel would shout, "Stay away from the alchemist's house. Their bats will be back."
Okay. They just
Someone get a guard. We have found that the alchemist has been killed in his house. Go.
They do then kind of like scatter and run off to head towards the Guardian's outpost.
I don't know. I think the bad information was more important than that. He's been dead 2 weeks and no one said anything.
But before you stands the mayor's house, an imposing 3-story edifice that commands attention with its sheer presence. Situated directly across from the town square, it seems to keep a vigilant eye on the melancholic town of Darkmoor as if bearing witness to its sorrow. The house is constructed from dark, weathered stone, its once grand facade now marked by the passage of time and the relentless grip of decay. The windows, though tall and arched, are mostly shrouded by heavy, tattered curtains that billow occasionally in the chilling breeze, granting fleeting glimpses into the enigmatic interior. And then lastly, an ornate wrought iron gate adorned with once proud emblem, now faded and worn, guards the entrance to this house. It creaks ominously in the wind as if reluctant to grant passage to those who dare approach, and the path leading to the front door is lined with wilting roses, their dark red petals a stark contrast against the pallor of the town square. How do you wish to proceed?
Coral has the key, yeah? Or who?
Jillian, I believe, has the key, having found it. I had the key to those back rooms, but then there was a bronze key that was found.
Gotcha.
So,
Why don't we try the key?
After you.
yeah.
As we longly belabor this, for anyone who's listening audibly, Tana left the room. So the person with the key is like MIA. But for y'all's sake, and we can update her when she does get back, the key does work. And as you reach towards the keyhole and put the key in, the door becomes free and open.
So is there any like instant like smells that would just hit us?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a perception check, especially those expertly inclined to sniff things.
Guidance.
My perception's not great, Zach. I'll just give you advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be good.
And I'll give you the guidance as well.
Oh my gosh, I cannot do perception checks. I rolled a 3 and a 4, which for a total of 9 plus 3 is 12.
Wow.
Bjorn, there's definitely food within this home. Oh my.
He like takes a subtle step in and just kind of like catches himself here in the threshold and just, hello in there. Is everyone all right?
Yes.
Call on the masters of the house.
That's wonderful. Go ahead and let them all know that we're here.
And as you kind of peer in to yell out, you see that the whole house is pitch black like the alchemists. And so using your dark vision looking forward, you yell that out and you can see this massive table extends across the hallway ahead of you, and it seems completely dormant, and your voice even echoes out within the room, and then you can just hear the slight echoing and creaking within the house of the wind barely even moving it, but the wood just speaking back.
Well, this is troubling. Doesn't appear as if they are here, or if they are, they could be in a state like the alchemist. Should we proceed?
I think we should.
Heading in?
I'm somewhat hesitant to approach this darkened interior, somewhat ominous, but are you sure you're all right, Jackson?
I'll be fine. Fine.
Okay, great. Well, then entering in, you're in the main hall of entering the estate. In contrast to a bit of the weary but busyness outside of people being around and being able to see that some of the buildings and businesses are still running. In here, you are met with just surprising quiet. You turn and glance around. You can see this huge wooden table in the middle of the room, just across from the entrance. And then beyond that table are two sets of stairs that kind of converge in on the back, heading up to the second floor. To your left and your right, you can see two doors leading into other rooms opposite one another, but you are in the kind of main receiving area, the first floor of this mansion.
As we enter and are starting to enter into the mansion, I'm going to cast Goodberry and have just have the supply of the 10 berries in case we might need them as we're going through.
Got it.
I would like to cast Detect Evil and Good.
Okay. What does that reveal?
It reveals if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, I'll know if there's a place or object within 30 feet that has been magically consecrated or desecrated.
Got it. As you step into the space and can feel the eeriness and even the almost gosh, what's the word I'm looking for right now? Paranoia that just seeps over you from walking into the space and relying on your dark vision and the silence of the room where nobody returned the call out that Bjorn had put out. You kind of tap into your divine knowledge of things that are around you, and you are just haunted personally as you're walking into the space. This depth, this weight, this almost longing for life comes into your own being, and you just get this heavy sense that there is an undead presence somewhere within the house.
I will let my people know. Step carefully. There's undead here.
Do not like the undead. You just get like a big shudder. Start like looking around warily.
Everyone's hair raises on the back of his neck.
His beard gets extra bristly. Just like
Well, right, left, or up?
I have a better sense that the right side may have a better inclination. I just see the air seems better to the right side of the house. I think we should head that direction.
What kind of better? What do you mean better?
The best kind of better. I think you should trust my nose on this one.
I'll make an insight check.
Roll an insight check.
Guidance.
Bjorn, are you okay?
As Jackson squints towards Bjorn, you just put a hand on his back. You're like, yeah.
No, wait a second.
You're acting heckin' weird, man. Wow. Oh, wait. There it is. Okay. Only a 10.
Only a 10? You know that Bjorn has a very hungry belly most of the time. You're at a dining room table. There's likely to be a kitchen nearby.
Oh. Really?
What? We got to start somewhere, and that seems like the best place to start.
Why don't we start at the top? That way we can work our way back down and out towards the front door.
I mean, that sounds as bad as...
Wonderful idea.
That sounds as good as starting at the bottom. In the basement. The attic and the basement are notorious spots for tomfoolery.
Perfect. We'll get exactly what we need to know by going there first. Corel, would you lead on, please? And just be like...
Let me
Wi-Fi.
check something really quick.
Bjorn, I think you're holding a couple good bears as well.
Um, yeah, why don't I go ahead and get this ready now? And I am going to cast Summon Beast in order to summon a bestial spirit. It will take the form of a bear in honor of my good friend Bjorn, as being a land spirit. So I will actually probably direct the spirit to lead the way up the stairs, trailing behind it.
Before we keep going, as we're coming to this table, is the table like set? Is it like in the middle of like a meal, or is it like cleared of all things? Is it? I'm trying to make sure I get a glimpse of like what, I don't know, if there's like this was an attack in the middle of an event, or like was this, just trying to see just general basics.
Yeah. No, the table itself isn't really set as if like mid-meal there was some form of incident. Okay. So, if anything, it's pretty bare.
Okay.
I hate it.
Then I would.
It's pretty.
Oh.
Okay. Was the last thing I think was said was we're heading up to the second floor then?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, get my notes caught up. Cool. So up ahead, as you make your way up, what you see is this immediately above the stairs is a laboratory as well. What appears to you is that these Glen fellows were interested in what is known as hermeticism. And so what you see on this first floor has essentially been transformed into a bit of a laboratory here. You can see potions and oils and these vials all around this main table. It's in the center, but you also see books about chemistry and stuff around as well. And so I can update our map as well, but boom. Okay, yeah. So the center of the room as well, kind of built in the same way that the first floor was. You see this table, but instead, this is where you see the vials and the things built around alchemy and magic kind of set around, and then different implements and things around the edge of the room as well.
So is there only 2 floors, Dan, or is there another?
There are stairs that continue to head up.
Start at the top and work our way down.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we're walking, I don't know if you would allow this, Dan, but can I like ritually cast detect magic as we're walking? Like, does
No,
that...
you'd have to sit and focus on it.
Okay.
That's like,
Okay.
Is it 10 minutes for that?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
My detect evil and good is also up for 10 minutes on. So if there's anything else that would enter into 30 feet of my bubble.
And you don't get any particular direction or known location, right? That's just the general.
I do know.
You know the actual location?
I do, yes. If it's within 30 feet, and there is barriers though. 1 foot of stone, an inch of common metal, 3 feet of wood or dirt will block it.
Got it. Okay. As you all get onto this floor, then you become aware that this presence that is undead is within that room to the left as you came up. And so it's on the same floor that you are.
I don't know if I'm even ahead. As we were going upstairs, I imagined being the last person, honestly, because to like protect the squishier people in the middle.
I have more HP than you.
I don't think you do, but regardless, I feel like you do, and I would protect you. So I'll like stop and like try to get everybody's attention with nonverbals, like I'll like do this, and I'll point to the door,
and I'll telepathically say to her, "We can talk to each other in our heads."
The undead creature is in this room.
Okay. And then I'll cast message to both of them and let them know.
I think Bjorn would stop, and then like turn and whisper and be like, "Should we be very sneaky?" And then he would cast Pass Without Trace on the party.
Sweet.
All right, so are we heading for the door on the left? What's the game plan here?
Bjorn just gonna like point back at the stairs, like he does not want to be anywhere near this at all.
Mhm.
I mean, I kind of don't want to turn my back on a threat. I'd rather just deal with it.
Same.
What do you think, Corel?
I think if we tie, we don't have a fifth to break the vote, and that stinks.
I can just have 2 votes. That's fine.
The bear's here.
Yeah, if this is the thing that's been causing issues, I'd either see if we can deal with it, and if we feel like we're outmatched, we get out of Dodge. So let's see if this is something we can handle.
Okay.
So, do we want to just rush in, or just try a complete range, hide everything we can throw at it? Because I've got something I've been holding on to just in case we ran into something pretty strong, and this spirit can definitely help us out with attacking the thing too.
How about then we have like a pincer formation around the door, have the bear be in the front and just break down the door, and then see what happens.
Okay. Yeah.
I was going to ask too, Dan. I was just thinking, I have the cantrip Mold Earth. Would it be able to, because it's supposed to be stone or like dirt, and I didn't know if the walls were like wood or if they were stone.
They're
And
stone.
if they are stone, could I use that to like carve, like make it into loose soil or like loose rubble, I guess, like around the door?
Using what? Mold Earth?
Mold Earth, yeah.
Where the stone, if you can range, have a cube, maybe playing with the flowing waves, go to loose earth.
Thinking about like excavating it, except it's on the wall, not like.
Yeah, but it's not loose, so you can do shapes, colors, or make things appear within the stone. Shape small patterns in it.
Okay.
It's not like full on within that. You get to mold the whole thing completely.
Okay. Could I like mold around the hinges of the door so like the hinges aren't now attached? Like
That,
mold
yes.
like just scoop around the hinge?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think to assist the bear in knocking down the door.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, let's strength check with advantage to knock that door down then.
Straight.
Go bear, go! I'm just gonna give the bear a quick pat.
Where's everybody else at in this point?
I would like to be
Oh, yeah.
holding chill touch.
Okay.
I think Bjorn is on that side of like just waiting right by the door. Bear goes in.
Strength check. We've got a 15 for the strength check.
15 total. Okie dokie. Let me just double check. All right. And so with the help of separating the door from its hinges, the bear is just slams down on it and it just collapses within. And you can see the dust and the creaking from it hitting on the ground. You can hear this kind of creaking from the ground as it kind of busted in, even from the strength and weight of the bear. And then as that kind of settles out, you can just hear the continued creaking of the wood within the house as silence fills the space.
We don't see anything in there.
Make a perception check.
Yeah. Perception check, here we go. Okay, that's an 11.
Jillian, did you as well?
I rolled a 23.
Okay.
Jeez. I'm glad
yeah.
somebody's good.
The lion friend doesn't sense anything. This is beyond his ability to. Jillian, you can just sense the kind of the presence of this undead spirit. You can tell is now spiritual because you're looking over the space and there's nothing physical there. And so you can have this strong like awareness and connection to like, okay, there is an undead spirit here within the room that is not revealing itself.
Okay. I'll relay that telepathically to Jackson. It's a spirit of some kind.
Okay.
And I guess. Should I go in there?
No. Can I hold up the mirror that I was given that is both copper and silver?
Okay.
And just kind of use it. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see if it's going to activate or like because of its kind of silvered nature, if I can see anything that's supposed to be unseen.
Lateral
Okay, go ahead and make a
thinking.
perception
Good job.
What'd you say, Dan?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Guidance.
Guidance. That's unfortunately cocked. 14.
Okay, and then do me a favor, just roll a d20 for me as well.
Sure. Of course, that's a 16.
Fantastic. Okay, great. As you kind of turn your back towards the room and hold up the mirror, you can see this kind of portly halfling spirit hovering over the bed. And as you hold up the mirror, direct eye contact between you and the reflection. When you can hear the voice as the spirit begins to grow larger because it's flying towards you. It says, "I wish you to leave me in my shame." But you rolled higher, so I'll let you attack or respond first before this creature does.
Oh yeah, chill touch for sure.
Go for it.
Do we hear that sentence?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not one, but I remembered halfling get to re-roll them
Oh
once.
yeah. Yeah.
That's much better. That's a 17 plus 6 is a 23
That hits.
to hit. Okay.
Nice.
So, with the left hand that starts kind of pulsating, I'm going to just slam it down into this kind of mystical gate, and my large blackened hand comes up and grabs the spirit with that to deal just 1d8. So, 2 points of necrotic damage. It can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn. And then the hand is clinging to the target. If the hit is on an undead, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls against me until the end of my next turn.
Got it. That's great. Okay. Let's go ahead and roll initiative around the board.
Here's where, twice I rolled 2 ones that I could have just overturned. make that 3 ones that I can now overturn. There's so many.
We have been rolling terribly tonight.
Bjorn got his
Except for Tana. Except for Tana.
Yeah.
Tana's been rolling, which I feels like is a real turnaround.
Indeed.
Here's the thing: you are twins, and so she took the lucky eye. Is what happened here.
All that mojo away from me.
Coral, your initiative.
A solid 7.
7. Jackson.
Gosh.
Boom! I rolled a 2.
Jillian.
20, not natural.
20.
Oh my gosh.
There
And
we
then you
go.
want to get your 4 for you doing it in D&D Beyond.
Yep.
Before the combat started, though, the ghost was going to get an attack off on Jackson before we go into initiative order. And so as it
Disadvantage.
does have disadvantage, as it comes up, it's going to use its withering touch on you.
Oh.
So it's going to miss. Yeah, it's total. It's a -1. Or no. It's a 9. I'm sorry. I don't. For some reason, my mind just calculated disadvantage meant what it gets added gets subtracted instead. I don't know where
That
came.
would be disadvantage. Yeah, that's right.
Wow. Okay. But anyway, we're gonna start with that miss. The ghost then like flies forward, and you see the attack coming in the mirror, and you twist around, and you get your black arm and its magic forward on it, and you hold it at bay almost when you put your hand against the forehead of a toddler, and it's just like trying to get at you, and you keep the ghost at a distance where it can't make contact. And Jillian, we're gonna start with you.
I see it.
Yes, you can see it now. It became completely corporeal once it became in contact with Jackson.
Okay. For my bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
Nice.
And it's just a very larger, like a larger form of my mace that I'm holding.
Cool.
'Cause my mace is cool.
Yeah.
I
Did you describe your mace?
don't think so.
I don't think you did.
Ooh.
It just
What's it
looks like a
like?
big sun on the end of a stick that I whip
Nice.
Nice.
around. Let's see. Can I attack with it this turn, or do I just cast
Oh, yeah.
it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Hit him in the face.
Well, it's not 9 to hit.
Would it be with advantage since I'm holding his face?
No, sorry.
Okay.
That's right.
But I'll leave that up. And then I'm just checking one. You know, I think what I'm going to do for my action is use my cantrip. This is what I have. I'm trying. Oh. I'm going to use my turn undead.
There you go. Good point, Nate.
He kept saying turn undead, and I'm like, I have Tolva undead. I don't think I have
No,
turn
turn.
undead. And he's
Turn
like, no,
undead.
you have it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Rolled an 18.
Dude,
Ah,
your
It
spells are
saves.
just not working.
I know. It
Um,
saves.
okay.
So I think that's it.
Yeah,
Nothing happens.
Okay. Coral, is that where you wanted to be? I don't know if we moved your token from the door situation.
Let me.
Let's say Coral is actually probably close to here.
Got it. I wanted to offer you that option before the ghost's turn started. So that you would be where you wanted to be, which unfortunately is within its range. Well, it would have been in range if you were back there anyway. Sorry. Would everyone, including the bear, make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Wisdom save.
Is this for a fear effect, Dan?
It is.
There it is. Finally, after 5 nat ones, I got a nat 20.
There it is.
Oh,
Oh, okay. This is just funny. So, the bear got a dirty 20.
nice.
I got a natural 1 for a 6.
Okay. Okay. How did the twins do?
I got a 17.
Okay. And you got your nat 20. Bjorn?
I am supposed to be really good at wisdom saves. It's a really good thing for me, but I rolled a 9 in total. So
It's going to be you and the bear.
Gosh. Okay. Here's the thing, though, too. So, Coral, you failed to save by more than 5. You immediately age 40 years, as well as being
0?
frightened. And so your mane, your fur, everything starts to fall off, becomes brittle and fine, and then some thin but remaining grayish white mane and fur does remain, and then the skin on your face just kind of sags a bit as the ghost yells out in this screech, and his face just becomes enlarged and terrifying, and he just yells out, "I want you to leave!" And then as he screams out and his face echoes like that, the house even feels like it contracts within this space. Everyone that failed it, so it is Bjorn and Coral, you are frightened. And so with that, you'll repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn, but then you also frightened. I think you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while you can see this ghost, and you cannot willingly move closer to him as well.
Mhm.
That is it for the ghost's turn, and that is going to bring us to Coral. You little scaredy cat.
Definitely not going to move closer. I'm going to scream to the bear spirit. 40 years older, just out of the blue. And I will cast the spell, because I should still be able to cast spells, Wither and Bloom. So the spirit needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
DC 13.
Oh, it failed.
Oh, okay. So it will take 2d6 necrotic damage. That's going to be 7 points of necrotic damage.
You can tell that had no effect on the ghost at all.
Okay. Then I will then activate the other effect of Wither and Bloom, and one creature of my choice can spend a roll of an unspent hit die and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay.
Dan, is it okay if I choose myself?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Though you still feel ancient in your bones, you feel a little bit more present in your flesh and muscle.
Oh, man. And that will give me 10 points of healing.
Right.
And using my spirit's turn, because it goes right after I do, I am going to have it charge. And because of pack tactics, it will have advantage on its attack roll against the creature.
Go for it.
Beautiful. Not that one. Get them all attacked. 7.
7 damage.
Oh,
7 to hit.
7 hit. No, sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's everything for Coral. Oh my god.
Just slashing straight through it, and the ghost kind of dissipates and reappears, not taking any damage. Go ahead and repeat the saving throw for your frightened, though.
Will do, and it's a wisdom save, correct?
And then Bjorn, you're up next if you're thinking about what you're doing.
just to be sure, I did miss something. Did we take damage from that attack as well, or is it just frightened?
Just
Okay.
frightened.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I hadn't like not taking damage for that.
good.
Because yeah. Okay.
19.
19?
Oh, nice.
Okay, you regain your composure, and you are no longer frightened.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Bjorn, we're up.
Yeah. With everybody kind of in the middle there, there's not a lot that I can do. I don't have any like range cantrips or anything, so I think I'm just gonna make my saving throw and try to get. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out of the sphere. That is a 16.
That also passes, so you are no longer afraid as well.
Okay.
So that does bring us to Jackson.
Yay! Okay. I would like to do. What do I want to do? I think I'm gonna do Tasha's Mind Whip again. So it needs an intelligence saving throw of 14 or higher.
Okay. Roll a 4.
Yes. Okay. So I will roll 3d6 psychic damage.
Okay.
That's another good one. 14.
Okay. What do you say for the mind whip? Is this like a vocal thing that you're going through as well?
Yes. So, I think since it would kind of come from his hand more than his actual self, it would be this kind of very guttural, deep speech phrase that would come out instead.
Okay.
And then, so yeah, can't take its reaction. So because of that, I'm going to move the heck away from it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, yeah, it can choose to move, attack, or use an action or use a bonus action on its next turn.
Got it. Jillian.
That'll be me.
Okay. First, I think as I use my spiritual weapon to try and attack him,
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gonna say, "We're looking for Christopher," and she's gonna not hit him with only a 10 to hit.
Yeah, it does not hit.
So that's my bonus. For my action, I think she's just going to use Sacred Flame, which is
Okay.
a cantrip.
Okay. Is that that's a wisdom save?
A deck save.
Dex
14.
save. Okay. Fail.
Oh, I actually get to do damage.
Yeah, Sacred Flame.
He takes 6 radiant damage.
Okay.
Every bit helps.
Mm-hmm. Great. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm not in melee with him.
You are.
I am.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will stay.
But he can't take reactions.
Can't take a reaction.
I will move.
I think he can. No, he can't take reactions, and he has to choose between moving and attacking. All that.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Then you can.
You're full.
Put me kind of directly across from you on the other side. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's it for me.
Got it. All right. Well, in a limit of options here,
Suck it, ghost.
this ghost is going to move towards Bjorn and get right here between, and that's going to be it. Is there any repeat of that saving throw?
No, that was just it. It's just until
Until
the end of its turn. Yeah.
got it. Okay, then that is it, and we are back up to Coral.
Okay. Coral is going to
Sorry, and real quick, in response to Jillian, this ghost is going to respond and just yell out, "I am Christopher. No longer. He is gone." And then he's going to float over towards Bjorn. There you go. Sorry, not Coral.
We'll have to kill him again.
Yeah, not really having much else that Coral can do. He is going to go ahead and, well, YOLO, and just kind of just hobble towards the ghost. And just try to make an attack with primal savagery.
All right, roll to hit.
That's going to be a 22.
That hits.
Beautiful. And that will be 4 points of acid damage.
Gotcha.
And the black bear, immediately following Coral, will make his maul attack.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a 21 to hit.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Nice.
And how much damage is that again? 1d8 plus 6. So that'll then be 12 piercing damage.
Jeez, okay. You can tell as the bear is struggling to make full contact with the ghost and that it's not doing full damage, but it is still damaging it and severing its tie to this plane.
Then I think that would be the end of Coral's turn.
All right. In the midst of all of this noise and commotion, you all don't even hear, but eventually see this massive shadowy figure slip into the room from the attic above. And as these legs are prying into the walls from the ceiling, eventually you hear the ceiling creak from the weight of this massive spider from above. And as you look up, Jillian, you see this massive spider creeping in from the attic and just looking down at you, and then it drops. So with that, I got to look up. It's got a custom stat block for this module. So let me pull him up.
Gross.
Oh,
No me gusta. Big no me gusta.
Its face, you can see, is reddish even, and it's got these like horns protruding out, and it seems even demonic in its origin. As you look up at it, let me see. I think it has a particular description I should read too.
Most spiders are in nature, so it's fun.
until they said it was demonic, I was contemplating animal friendship.
Just hear this deep infernal. You're like, oh, okay, no.
Okay, yes. Jillian, as it enters into the room, you feel a sense that you sensed when this entity entered this plane earlier, just like seconds before, and you feel that strong demonic energy from it, from your awareness of even detecting the undead that's here as well. As it lands around you, the first thing it's going to do is try to bite at you. It's an 18 to hit. I didn't hear anything, and I can't see you. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, it
Yes,
hits.
I nodded. Yes.
I'm looking at the stat block. Sorry. So okay, that I rolled 2 6s on the 2d6 for that. So that's going to be
Oh,
15 piercing damage, and I
How
need
many?
15.
15.
And I need you to make a Constitution
Oof.
saving throw for me as well.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Aw. 12.
Okay, you're gonna take. Where are you at? Okay, you will. If you failed the con save, so you're going to take 31 poison damage as well.
I'm down.
Oh, okay.
So I rolled 2 6s on the 2d6 plus 3 for its bite, and then I rolled 2 10s and an 8 on its 4d10 poison damage, and then a 3 as well.
Jeez.
It was like
You don't like me.
so nearly perfect max damage on that. So you all see this demonic spider crawl in from the attic, drop down on Jillian, and just launch a bite down, and then and an attack with its web. Okay, so then it's also going to shoot a web out. I think right at Jackson, just across the table. We'll do that. And so
Do
I
I
need
have half cover because I'm small and behind a table?
You would if this were an attack roll, but I need you to make a strength check for me. Or no, I'm so sorry. I'm making an attack roll. I am. And so, yeah, this will add half cover because you're small behind the table. Absolutely. What does that add 2 to your armor class?
If it's, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Two.
Uh,
It's 3/4 cover. It's like
it's 5.
4 or something.
okay, it's a 20 total.
Oh,
20
jeez.
total. Yeah, that's still hit.
So you are restrained by webbing. As an action, you can make a strength check to try to break through the webbing.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay, that is it for the spider's turn. And we are heading into Bjorn's turn and then Jackson.
Okay. Bjorn is actually going. So the spider is on the ground, right? Like it's now on the ground next to.
right next to Jillian.
Okay. I am going to actually cast Spike Growth in between me and Corel, the ghost, the black bear, and the giant spider on this one side, like on the floor, like right underneath its feet and kind of where Jillian is, but like heading towards us. So yeah, so that whole area kind of is Spike Growth. And then as my bonus action, big hulking bear, I'll like back out and just kind of sitting down in front of. I'm not going to move. I'm just going to sit there, like trying to draw attention from Corel, especially.
Got it. Okay. Does anything happen with that spike growth immediately?
No, but anytime it now moves across Spike Growth, it is going to take 2d4 per 5 feet of movement, and that's difficult terrain. It actually doesn't know that it's there technically, because it's like an illusion. So,
Okay, Jackson, you're up. Your
Okay.
sister has just been downed.
Yes, and Jackson will scream, and then like the blue eye will turn completely black, and I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt against the spider. So that's an attack roll for me, and then I'm going to use Twin Spell to get the ghost as well with this.
Okay.
oh wow.
This is an attack roll.
Yep.
Okay. Because you're restrained, you have disadvantage on this attack roll.
Okay. That's only an 11.
For which one?
So it's one attack since it's Twin Spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it's 11 for both of them.
Yeah, that misses on both.
Okay.
Yeah, Jackson from within the web screaming out in anger and defense and frustration over Jillian being downed, shoots out this twinned bolt of chaos, both of them going too high and hitting off towards the ceiling.
All right. That's it.
Okay. After Jackson, bringing us back up to the top, Jillian, I think I'm going to make a death save for you privately here.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. And then that's going to bring us to the ghost. Sorry, I do them privately at my table too because
That's totally fine.
other players won't necessarily know. It kind of continues that urgency of like we need to take care of our party member and all of that. All right, the ghost is up next, and let me just double check. Okay, cool. Bjorn, I need you to make a charisma saving throw for me.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Oof. That's a thing. Charisma saving throw. That is not great. Yeah, that is an 8.
Okay, the ghost disappears, shunting its spirit and its body into Bjorn. Bjorn, you are possessed by this ghost, and you are incapacitated and lose control of your body. The ghost now controls you. And
Oh my god.
so everyone's
That's great.
And Coral, you are up.
Wonderful. So, from my perspective, the ghost is just gone. I didn't necessarily see it go into Bjorn. I don't know that Bjorn's been possessed.
No, you do. You saw it. You saw the ghost just kind of panically look around to the room, even sees the spider and kind of freaks out for a bit, and then slides itself right into Bjorn's body.
Wonderful. Okay. Let's do something a little weird here. I am not great with ghosts. I don't know a lot about demons, so I'm going to go ahead and use my bonus action to summon my spirit totem. And I am going to, in the middle of the table between Jillian and Jackson, summon a bear spirit.
Okay.
Every ally to me within 30 feet of where the spirit is summoned gets 8 temporary hit points.
Okay.
And they have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
Okay.
Having seen it shoot web out, I want them to have the strength if they get caught in that. So I've got that summoned out. I don't necessarily want to attack my friend who is currently being possessed. But what happens to the concentration spells that Bjorn made after he's been possessed?
Still concentrating on them. He's fine.
Okay.
Well, he's
Then I don't-
incapacitated though. So wouldn't that mean that's a loss of concentration?
Yeah.
Probably. No, just can't take actions or reactions.
Okay. Then I don't want to run across the spike growth. So
Yes. We're
um,
not doing that.
I'm going to hold my action in case the spirit come. I'm going to hold a action to use primal savagery if the spirit does get within striking distance to me.
Okay.
And I'm going to send the bear to as close as it can get over to kind of where this is going to be really. I'm going to send my attacking bear over to my supporting bear on the table. Yeah.
Cool.
And I think that's going to be the end of my turn.
Got it. Okay. Bjorn, your movement speed is 25. Is that correct?
In bear form, it's 40.
Oh, sweet. Fantastic. Okay, you in bear form run up to the giant spider. You find yourself internally watching this coming from your eyes as your body is kind of taken control over. And with this determination and even like fearlessness in your body, you're surprised that you're moving directly towards this demonic entity. But with your body, then, your whatever attacks you would normally be doing, is that a bite and a claw attack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just as a heads up, spike growth affects anything that's in it. So, like, I would be taking 2d4 damage for every single 5 feet of movement through that space. So, like, unless the ghost like makes me drop concentration to then do it, I don't know if the ghost would know that it's there technically. So, like, I can do it. I just wanted to make sure you were aware. Like, I'm taking 2d4 for every 5 feet of movement that I just went from, which is about, I think, 25 to 30 feet of movement. So
with that first set of damage, you'd have to roll concentration. You'd have to roll concentration
That's true.
every single time.
That's true.
Yeah. My mindset would be: are you not immune to it as the person who cast it?
No, it's literally just, it is spiky stone growth, like, in that space.
Well, then go ahead and make a concentration check for me.
Low,
Okay.
low.
This is the time, if there was a time. That's a 13.
Okay, so you pass and you take 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
Make another one.
All right. It's also difficult terrain, so actually it's I can only go 20 feet. So that's, unless it drops.
Right.
All right. That's 21. I'm gonna probably kill myself on the way over here.
You're in the bear form there, right?
Yeah, I'm in bear form. So.
Okay. 3 more piercing damage.
Okay.
Moving another 5 feet.
That's 17.
Still, you need less than 10.
Yep.
You need to take 4 more damage.
So I'm at 10 damage right now, I think.
Yeah. Make another concentration check.
That is an 11.
Gosh. Okay. So 20. 3 more damage.
So 13.
Okay. He's gonna
Is that
He's gonna use
one
your
more?
dash. So you're gonna go another 5.
Okay. Okay. That is a 16.
Passes. Hey, 2 1s for you this time. You're gonna take 2 piercing damage on that one.
Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm at 15 damage in total.
And then the last 5 feet, and you're right up on him.
That's 17 again. So I still maintain concentration.
Maintain concentration the whole way through. You took another 2 piercing damage. You got another 2 1s.
Okay.
So you're just digging through your own spiky growth to tear all the way across to this spider. Immediate burst. The bear is just shredded from thorns, and you made it.
Mm-hmm.
You made it.
After
Ghost, you're literally the worst. This is why I took a look at this. You're so dumb, Ghost. Okay.
Jackson, you're up, and you are still restrained by the web.
Question for you, Dan.
Yep.
Can I potentially? I want to try and use a cantrip Firebolt instead of using Strength to burn off the web. Is that possible?
Instead of using strength, I think you'd still have to make an attack roll at disadvantage to try to hit the web accurately from your current position.
Okay.
So that's up to you.
I'll use Strength then, since I'll have advantage on that Strength check.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
of the bear spirit. I think it's just statistically, it's the better option. Get to re-roll that nat 1.
You need to get a new die.
Oh, strength check or saving throw?
Strength check.
Doesn't matter. It's the same. 15.
That is exactly what you needed to break free.
Ah, all
With
right.
the strength of the bear spirit totem, surrounded by 2 spirit bears and your Care Bear friend, you channel the Care Bear stare energy to just break out of the web. Okay. That is an action for you to do that. So you still have movement and a bonus action.
I mean, I don't know. I think here's what's weird. I'm gonna duck behind the bear.
Yeah.
Length of the bear and the cowardice of the bear.
I'm trying to
The
get that
protection of the
3/4
bear.
cover. I'm trying to boost my AC a little bit here. Yeah, because I don't really. So I'll move behind the bear, and I think that's gonna be my turn because I don't have any good bonus actions. So that'll be it for me.
Got it. I did forget to do the spider's turn. So we're gonna hop into that real quick.
Oh, it doesn't need to take a turn.
Okay, we can walk back what I do then.
No, you're fine. Because
It doesn't need to take a turn. It's fine.
What? Bjorn, did you have the giant beast token?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. By the way, what was awesome when you had the ghost over Bjorn's?
Yeah,
It went to Bjorn Ghost Paws.
I did see that. It was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
Cool. Okay. The demonic spider now. Okay.
Kaiju battle.
We're gonna do a web burst. I want everyone around the spider, if you're within 20 feet of the spider, to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, come on, dude. I just got done
yeah.
with this.
Are you within 20 feet? I feel like you're not.
I think I'm just within range.
I'll give you advantage because you have the table barrier.
Bear is nibble on his paws. 16.
You have the table barrier.
You know what? Go ahead and kill me, Dan. Go ahead.
16 for Baron born.
Bjornber.
17 for Jack.
Okay.
19 for the bear spirit or the bestial spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
What'd you get?
Bears unite.
I'm sorry.
19 for me.
Sweet. Sorry, what did Coral's not within 20 feet. You're good. Cool. Okay, great. With the web burst saving throw, not restrained. Great. And half as much damage. Okay, so everyone who failed the save, or passed the save, sorry, you're going to take 10 bludgeoning damage.
You're back.
Question though. The temporary hit points from
Yes.
Aaron's totem,
Yes.
is it when you start the turn in that space, or like when does that happen?
When the totem is summoned. So if you enter its aura, you just get the advantage on strength checks and saves.
Oh, okay.
When it's summoned, you get the temporary hit points.
Okay. Well, then that's unfortunate, but
You're
Sure.
back down, but you're reset. Not enough.
Yeah, I think for like when she comes back up, you hear like a Jack like in your head, and then it goes like dark again, like almost immediately.
oh no.
I had plans too.
I bet you did.
I
dude.
did.
Oh, were you up because of the temporary hit points?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think temporary hit points
They
are.
don't.
No.
Oh, well,
No.
then I wasn't up at all.
No.
I was.
And that means you actually should make another death save because you just got hit.
So
right.
you make the save or an automatic fail.
She would fail to save because she's unconscious or incapacitated, but it's only one failed save. It's not a critical attack. So I've noted that.
Okay.
And after this turn is Jillian. I'm going to go ahead and roll you another death save.
Okay.
Cocked. Okay, great. She doesn't look like she's dead, but this was 3 total rolls for her now, and you know that.
Yeah, I was like, oh gosh. And I'm possessed. I have healing, but I am possessed. I cannot use it. So
I don't have healing.
And Bjorn, you're in bear form. Okay, yeah, you're going to use your bite and claw attack towards the giant spider. If you want to roll this,
can I, Dan? I know this is like not incredibly kosher. Like I know I can't take like actions as a free action. Can I like argue with the spirit in my head, right, and be like, hey, like we need help against this spider. It would behoove you to heal my compatriot over there on the ground, as opposed to attacking this beast head on. Obviously, with potentially 2 of us and or 3 of us, if you will let me just be. I would be happy to join in the attack on this here spider, and not on you. Oh, Christopher, I understand you want to be left alone. I would be happy to leave you alone after we are done here. I don't know if this is allowable.
No, you're good. Dan, question real quick. Can you heal in your bear form?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
I can use, actually, that's not true. I can use spell slots to heal myself, which I probably should because I'm very low on health in bear form. If the spirit does not allow us to go heal.
Okay, got it. Go ahead and do a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
And don't tell me what it is yet.
Okay.
It'd be such a high roll. You've been rolling so high.
Don't say that. I'm rolling in D&D Beyond, so avert your eyes, I guess.
I'm just setting the DC, and I want to set it before I see.
Okay.
It's a 12.
12 is what I rolled.
It was a 12.
That's almost what I rolled.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's go.
Okay, so then the ghost is going to depossess you and fly out over into this space. And within your mind, as you had beckoned him to do this, he just goes, "Sever this beast from my home and we shall talk." And then he leaves the bear body, heads over there, and then he's going to just use his withering touch on the spider. Then
Get him. Get him.
hits the spider. And he hits the spider for 21 damage.
Wow.
And you see the ghost just kind of step forward out of the body, raise his 2 hands up, and then kind of tear through the ethereal reality bend that he is in, and leaving this like bright blue and purple trail behind in his raking claws. He just like tears into the side of the spider. After that, then, it was at the end of the ghost. Coral, you were up.
Alrighty, so Coral is going to cast Healing Word on Jillian. And that will give her a d4 plus 3. And that would be 4 points of healing.
You're back up. You're back up.
That's all that matters.
Jillian with 2 failed death saves and 1 you hear the voice of Coral calling you back into a healthy standing, and you were good. You were recovered slightly for now. Anything else, Coral?
That's my bonus action. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Dan, let me know if I can do this. Well, if it'll let me grab him. Let's start that way. Not letting me grab my token. No. Yeah.
You shouldn't do that if you want
What
to
if
live.
my thought process is walking towards the table, then going sideways? Or is there still spike growth that way?
Spike growth is between you and the spider. So everything you just walked on was spiky growth.
Okay. I was looking to avoid that, so because I thought walking towards the table, then going diagonal from the table would avoid it.
I think
It's like
I'll give you that.
Okay.
You can get to here, and then you're into 2 spaces of spike growth.
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and make the primal savagery attack.
All right, go ahead and take the 6 piercing damage from the spike growth, and then you can do the attack.
Can do. Why? The attack is. Do I get advantage?
Sure. You got 4 enemies around this guy.
19.
Right, yeah, that hits.
Beautiful. Then that is going to be 9 points of acid damage.
Got it. Okay. So between the ghost tearing into this and then you on the opposite side, raking claws from both of you are tearing into the side of this creature as it's looking around, seeing Jillian stand back up underneath of it. Its massive legs kind of latching onto the walls and the ceiling in its position. It's starting to look a little panicked, but still frenzied for the fight.
I'm going to tell my bestial spirit to come around the side of Jillian next to the spider and to also make a maul attack.
Go for it.
That is going to be a dirty 20.
Sure.
Awesome. And then 1d8 plus 6. That is going to be 12 points of piercing damage.
Jeez. All right. Surrounded and wrecked.
Yes.
All right. Bjorn, you were up.
Seeing us all kind of around and that Jillian is now back up, and I've kind of semi-fulfilled my purpose, but we're fighting the spider, so I'm going to go ahead and make 2 attacks with my bear form. I guess I have advantage because the other bear is on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's aggravating. That is not a good first roll. See if this is any better. Much better. All right. That is going to be a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Sweet. Okay. Boop, boop.
Get him.
What just happened? No. That's a 5, 7 plus 4. Yeah, 7 plus 4 is 11 points of slashing damage. The first attack. And then I'll go ahead and take. That's okay. Let's just make sure it's not a natural 20. It's definitely not. 16 plus 6 is 22 to hit. Sweet. And then this is a D8. 3. That's 7 points of piercing damage as I grab a leg and savage it in my teeth.
Yeah, you rip it off, and so it is now missing one of its legs as this bear has mauled it, and it's just still twitching within the bear's mouth.
I'm also going to burn a spell slot to do a little bit of healing to myself. I just get a D8 of healing back.
Go for it. Jackson, you were up.
Okay, I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt.
Okay, roll to hit.
Spider. 26 or 26.
Y'all are rolling real high on these attacks. Go ahead.
Okay, so Chaos Bolt gets funky. So 2d8. I'm picking this one. And that, one of those. Okay, it's going to be psychic damage, and it's going to be 13 points of psychic damage.
Would you like to describe your kill on this?
Yes.
Yes. I think just the rage, because Jillian hasn't gotten up yet. She's awake, but I can't see her, and so this rage and this shadow is just wafting off as kind of Jackson raises up a little bit because of it and just pours out this bolt of shadow towards the giant spider as it just enters in and seeps in between the carapace and then just explodes its head.
Jillian, as you are starting to stand up, the spider bearing down on you, one of its legs is ripped off, and then as the head explodes, this green, red, and black fluid all just starts to kind of pour down over you. And eventually in that, you stand up and see across the table Jackson, and he's embracing his dark arm. His eye has gone black. He's yelling out in rage. This is the, darkest and most feral you've seen him, but it's also in defense and protection of you as the spider then falls down behind you and you're climbing up on the table to see him. And Jackson, you see her.
I think in your head, you hear her voice telepathically sounds tired. I mean, she's rough. She's in rough shape. but you hear, "You've got something in your hair." And she just smiles so brightly at you from across the table.
I think you would hear, like, in my head, it would almost be like this almost like storm of whispers along with like just above that din, like my voice saying, Jill? As it just kind of fades and I drop and just run towards you.
Oh.
And Christopher, don't forget Christopher.
Yeah, I think there would be this moment of like prepping a spell, being like,
I made the pact in bear form, so like I can actually speak right now. I don't. Are we still in initiative? Or are we like?
Up to y'all. What do y'all do next?
I mean, that action and movement, that's literally all I can do. So it'd go to the top of the round.
Okay. Which would bring us to Gillian.
Oh, I have very little hit points.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would bonus action healing word my.
The question is, can you healing word yourself? Yes. Sorry.
Okay. No, thank you.
Because I always forget, it's either cure wounds or it was healing word that like you can't do on yourself.
Really?
It's like
No, you can.
I think both are.
there's one healing spell that says on one other target creature. It can't be yourself. I just forget which one it is.
And Jillian was down when the ghost helped fight the spider.
Yeah.
So I feel like you and I would probably have this like quick embrace. And she would kind of turn. I think she's gonna hold. Can you hold a cantrip? I mean, it's an action.
An action. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she would start to prepare to do Sacred Flame again toward the ghost.
Okay.
But it's just like breathing heavily and like hugging her brother. And so I wouldn't release it.
Yeah. Got it. The ghost is next. And so the ghost then kind of descends a little bit, relaxes towards the ground slightly, looks over towards the bear Yorn, and just like, the threat has been removed. Where is Rose?
Can I freely respond? Like, can I like? I need a bonus action or an action to like deep air. Am I able to do?
Yeah.
Can I take an action to be bear? Bear of bear is what I would like to be. Yeah. So Bjorn would like shrink back into himself. He'd drop concentration on Spike Growth as well.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's unnecessary. Just Christopher, we will be happy to help you discover where Rose is. We would just come in to check. Actually, if she was in here, we would be happy to continue to search if you would be willing to permit us. This group and I would be happy to assist you in hopefully finding Rose and being at peace.
I cannot leave this floor. Find her. Let me know what has become of her.
I think I can speak for most of all of us here that we will be willing to do that. Yes.
Yeah. My money's on where the spider came from.
If you would be willing, we will proceed then upstairs. If you'll just allow us a quick respite as we bind our wounds and proceed up the stairs. We'll go search there and then continue to search throughout the house and beyond if needed.
Find me. And he kind of like dissipates backwards towards the bedroom until he completely dissipates into the ethereal plane.
Start from the top down, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
You see Bjorn just like trembling a little bit, and just like he just wipes his like sweaty brow, and then just like, and you see him just spit a couple times because he's still got spider in his mouth, and he definitely doesn't want it in there. So
We make a good team. Whew.
Corel, you look awful.
You know, I think we all do.
well, I do. I think for once in our lives, I do agree with Jackson in that you look quite dreadful. Are you quite okay? Because there's something you've done something with your hair. I think.
Well, you know, some days you get a little startled.
Indeed. Jordan doesn't know what to say to that.
My
He's
back
also
hurt.
I just we can.
Jordan will start heading upstairs to go see what's up there.
I will like have Jill like underneath my arm, kind of like carrying her up the steps, helping her up the steps.
Corel would pass her 9 of the good berries, leaving just 1 to hold on to just in case.
Oh, but I don't have to take all of that. It's okay.
You're the healer? Yeah, you
Okay.
do.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
As you all head up to the top floor and now into the attic, you take the creaky stairs up and can hear the faint and very depleted breath of a female figure. And once you get to the top, what you can see is absolutely gruesome and gut-wrenching. You can see the bodies of 3 women placed around a circle where in the blood of this almost pentagram-like figure on the ground, this summoning circle that has been drawn in both arcane powder and blood. In the center of all of that, you can see this female figure just kind of heaving and breathing. And you can see that there are cuts and scrapes all over her body as well. She whips her head back and sees you all come up. What has happened? Where is she? Is it complete?
Oh,
Who? So we have a list of the missing people and their physical descriptions. Does this person match the description of Rose, or does it match the description of one of the girls?
It's Rose.
Okay.
And she's in this middle of this blood pentagram.
Yeah. Where is Christopher? Is he back?
Back in
husband's
which
dead.
way do you mean? Dead yet? Dead.
He's a ghost haunting your house because of you.
He's not in his body again?
was that thing supposed to be Christopher?
Rose, what happened? Who are you waiting for?
It said that it would help. It said that it would bring him back.
Oh. We found a
Unfortunately,
spider.
a
Is
very
that what you're
large.
referring to?
I didn't know what it was.
When did Christopher pass? What happened there?
2 weeks ago. He found out. I don't know what happened.
He found out that you were having an affair with the alchemist. Yes, we understand. Did he proceed to go to the alchemist's house then? And
No, and her eyes like dart up at you, that you know that, and she has no idea who you are. Do not place that blame on him. I went to see the alchemist.
how did the alchemist then end up perishing? Because the alchemist is very much unalive as well.
Look, you don't understand. He was going to tell him And she's
Now,
staring.
did you do it whilst he was asleep, or were you in media res that the stabbing would happen?
Who are you?
While
Some do-gooders.
Bjorn is chatting with her, I don't know if this is a thing, but I feel like Jill would try to take her foot and stealthily try to like put a break in this pentagram situation to just see like if it's not a complete thing, maybe whatever weird magics were gonna happen might not. Like just try to stealthily.
Sure. Make an Arcana or a Religion check. Up to you.
Okay.
Dang.
Let's see.
It's abilities.
Yeah.
Bring more spiders come forth.
A dirty 20.
Okay. The summoning circle is depleted. It was used.
Okay.
Make a persuasion check, Bjorn.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a time.
I'll give you guidance.
Yay! As she kicks some summoning circle dust around.
Pow. I'm glad for guidance, man. See what I. Oh, a perfect 10.
It's a big mess you lot have stumbled into. But Johann killed Christopher, and I'm trying to bring him back.
Where is Christopher's body? And do we see the body up? Is it up here, or is it?
As she kind of moves off to the side then, and you can see that it's outside of the circle, towards the back of the attic.
Why did you think this was all going to break in?
I did some reading and looked into it, and once I started talking with her, she said that she would help. It was desperate. I don't know. Is a entity that was behind that spider. I clearly am in over my head here. And she starts to kind of clean off some of the blood and stuff that's on her, and she's looking around the women's bodies that are around her too, and she just begins to weep and puts her face down into her hands.
Is Mark's body also there, or is it just the three?
Make a perception check.
Oh, okay. My first nat 20 of the night. Yeah, 25.
Kind of around her in the center of the circle, you can see some slight human remains that seem to have been feasted upon by a large beast.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just a quick, how did all of these bodies arrive here? Did your 8-legged companion gather them for you, or how did that work?
Make one more persuasion check.
Goodness. I need to stop talking. That's a 3.
A 3.
Yeah.
I would like it if you got out of my home.
I think I'm gonna go real down close to her face, bend down, and just say, I'm not going anywhere. And if you want to live in the next few moments, you're gonna tell me everything you know.
There it is. Give me that intimidation check, bud. Your eye is still black, I'm sure. And if it wasn't, it became black in that moment.
Oh, it's only an 8, unfortunately.
Okay.
Jeez.
Rolled a 2.
Okay. She meets you in this very steady gaze. And instead of being kind of fearfully into it, she just, I did it. I brought them here. I thought that that would bring him back.
So we should just arrest her, right?
No, as I slowly start just bringing out a dagger.
Christopher wants to see you. He's not in his body, but he's asking about you.
Like I did tell you, he is not fully dead. He is indeed undead. So if you would come with us downstairs, you would get a chance to talk to Christopher, and perhaps everyone can peacefully resolve the situation. You may need to answer for several crimes.
She does drop her gaze and shakes her head. I'm not who he wants to be with anymore. I'm not worthy of him now. Take me to the barracks. Let's just get this over with.
I would be glad to escort you down the stairs. We just need to make a quick stop. I left something behind on the second floor. We're gonna need to make sure to drop by and pick that up on the way, and then we'll make our way out of the house and out of your home to the barracks. Sure. Yep.
As a joke, I'm just gonna say, Zach, the kitchen's on the first floor. Right, and as the party then can escort her back to Rolf, Zach, what are you doing?
I was 100% going to take her to the bedroom and be like, Christopher, I have a guest for you to come talk to. 100%.
Okay. Got it. As that happens, then you lead her over towards the bedroom and Christopher appears. Rose. What has happened? Where have you been? And then she begins to just describe and explain what happened over the last 2 weeks. How she openly tells him everything. Of course, he knows about the affair. She apologizes for Johan coming here and killing him, and that she's was trying to bring him back. But in those efforts, then she weeps and tells him that she killed 3 commoners from the city, and that she was doing everything that she could within this summoning circle to get his body back and to reunite him. And he is absolutely disgusted with this, and he wants nothing to do with her, and then that actually puts his spirit at rest. And so you see his ghost form just like no longer tethered here, and he just abandons her, and she just like dips her head into her hands and is sobbing.
I think at that point, Jackson comes up and is like, no, that body counts in the double digits. It's not just 3. You're responsible for at least 12. Just so you know.
Can you just slip her a dagger too?
I mean, I got 2. I leave one there.
I mean,
Corell's gonna look at Bjorn and just go, I mean, the leadership in this town really is awful. Like, they really could just use some sort of, like, new governance. Are we sure we don't want to just, like...
Anything would be better than what is currently in existence. There's no doubt in my mind at this point. We cannot leave this horrid place fast enough.
I need 40 years for this.
And so as the party determines what they will do with her and then claims their 80 gold from Rolf.
Like, way not enough now. Way not enough.
40 years of life.
Bjorn gets his 3rd full stomach for the last 2 hours. And the city of Darkmoor is brought to some element of justice by the hands of this party.
Woof.
Wow.
That's the one where you just walk back. You're like, we're never going back here again.
No, that's
Nope.
that's going to Sybil and saying, you made the right choice. You should leave this place.
You can rest up at the tavern and wake up bright and early to go meet her before she leaves.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I think I'm convincing Jillian to be like, hey, we gotta go with her.
I mean, we could honestly, yeah, we could protect her and her kids on their way to that city and pick up work.
Yeah, and I think I'd bring that to Bjorn and Corel as well. Just being like, hey, let's get the hell out of here.
Also,
I would ask for a bed in recompense. I'd be like, you pay us one bed when we get to a new city, and I'll be great. That'll be great. Yep. We'll call it even.
You can bring mine. Honestly, one of my favorite things, it's a note within this module that James wrote in, is, let me find the page where she and her family and the house stuff is. The chapel, no. No. Where are you at? Sybil Moore. Okay, go. Right at the end. Treasures. The party leave with anything that they buy and can carry. Obviously, it would be impractical to carry a bed in their travels, but it is their decision nonetheless. So if you want
Nice bed.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Holy crap.
this module
Man.
is incredible. This is awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, what in particular? What was the first part of that sentence? Aaron? What was the
Oh, I
first
said this module is incredible. It was
Yeah.
so much fun.
Can
Absolutely.
we, like, before we leave this town, go and what was there was a chapel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Father
we go and see?
Otho?
Orthus, yeah.
Can we see if he can like wind back the clock? Corel.
You go with him, and he goes to tell you, I've been hearing some strange things in the house across the street. If you would go with me, I will exorcise this house. And then when you take him over there, it's just more bats.
Oh, the bats. Oh, the bats.
God.
So Ortho has no ability at all.
Turn back time?
Here's
Greater
Here's the thing.
restoration.
what would make you think that any person in this town has the ability to do anything? Because
Great
none of them.
Restoration, yes.
Oh, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah,
Squirrel.
I'm sorry, Nate. I was like, are you asking for him to, like, bend time? But no, Greater Restoration, absolutely. He does
Greater
Greater Restoration on your lion friend, and he recovers his 40 years.
Yay!
This was absolutely amazing.
Back to the prime of life.
Better start using like that rosemary oil now.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, it's a scary peek into the future right there.
The ghost ever scare you 40 years closer to death? Yes.
In fact, yes.
Well, this was wonderful, and I miss you guys, and I'm really looking forward to when we run Strahd together, because that's going to be great.
Yeah. Holy crap! What a time that's gonna be. I like. If this is a teaser of it, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh geez.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
That's had a happy ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
There was a moment there as soon as Bjorn got possessed. I was like, well, that's it.
I was like, this is going to be a TPK.
It's like, thanks for coming out. This was a lot of fun in general.
You just made him run through spike growth.
Yeah.
That's maybe my favorite part of the fact that like Spike Growth didn't actually do anything except harm me as the caster. Like, just shredded me.
Oh
Perfect.
man, that was great.
Perfect.
Thank you, Dan. Thank
Oh,
you.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining in for too. We'll do another one together. If y'all are up for it, I'll reach out and set that up.
Yeah.
And maybe we can just back and forth between the groups and do like an every other month thing or something. But
Yeah.
enjoyed this. It was great. I miss you guys.
Yeah. This is great.
You.
Thank you to Dragon Nest too. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
Appreciate it. Subscribe.
Buy yourself a box. Subscribe to King Leo D&D. Do all the things.